Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is this, episode 18? This one's going to be epic. What's going on to the chat? Let's see what we got in here, man. We got Dickie Foster, Vito Rashad, Martinez Game Dogs. What's going on, brother man? How you been doing, man? Supreme Excellence. What's going on, my man? Soul Powered, a.k.a. Gamed Up Kennels in the building. What's happening? What's happening? Vernon Stone, Sir Kennels. Built Ford Tough Kennels in the building. What's going on, my brother, man? I see you over there prospering. Heart and Finish Kennels. What's going on? What's going on? Man in the building. Quick FC7 in the building. Mike Lee, what's happening in the building? Oh man, we cracking with this episode 18. It's gonna be epic. Backed by popular demand, of course. I ain't have really a chance to do a whole bunch of these joints like I've been wanting to. I've just been too busy. But when we get up here, it's a special occasion. Carolina Blue, Mike J, Keon Jackson. Let couple people get up in this joint real quick. Got a couple guests on here tonight. We don't know what's gonna happen, how's it gonna go through. Got my man, what you got it? The undisputed Kendrick Kennels and Commissioner Buck is in the building. Yes, sir. Papa Man, what's going on? What's going on? Monte Wallace. Shit moving kind of fast, B. I think I got everybody in. Carolina Blue. I think I missed Carolina Blue. Carlesta Selman. I missed you, homie. Julian T. What's going on? Man, I'm enjoying this good old Saturday, man. Got a chance to move some dogs around, hit the yard up, normal shit. Rock H in the building. What's happening? What's happening? Ain't doing too much. Beanie Siegel voice. I don't do too much. Play with the little boy, regular shit. Buck and Kendrick, y'all on mute. BB Kennels. Billingsley Boys Kennels. BB
Yo.
Kennels. M1 in the building. What's going on, brother, man? Vad Kennels in the building. Vad, I see you over there, man. I see you, man. We got some. M1, man, how you going? Man, how your day going, man? You having a good Saturday, man? You enjoying yourself? Man, got a nice little lineup going on over there. All right. You can see the vision when some people putting stuff together. Croc Bull Kennels in the building. What's happening, man? Yeah, man. Had that little seeds pumping earlier today. I was on some real Brooklyn shit on the yard. Think about just pursuing this DJ career too, man. People telling me my playlist is crazy. Y'all brothers check out Vad too, man. Vad he doing some lives. He got a nice joint with a veterinarian on there, man. Check the brother out, man. He doing some things. Yeah, they just keep rolling up in here, man. John D, what's good? Carl Richard. Appreciate it, Julia T. Yeah, man, we cook up when we cook up. It's hard for me. It's not the guess or anything, man. It's just hard for me, man. I got a lot going on. I tip my hat to the brothers that that get it in like that. But with the dogs and everything, man, and life, man, it's like, man, I just don't be having the time all the time. But we try to make them count when we get them on here. Free will, what's happening? What's happening? God is good, dogs too. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Place of peace. But that's what they say it's supposed to be. Got the Team Mike salutes out here. Yeah, we got one of the originators of it on here. Florida Boy Kennels. The infamous Thompson'S Kennels. Respect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Yeah, we're gonna have some good old dog talk. We're gonna talk our shit, have a good time. You know how this shit normally is, man. Kendrick, you done doing what you doing yet? That shit better be a masterpiece after all this time, my G.
Yeah, give me like 1 minute, bro. Give me like 1 minute. I'm still
He
getting
rolling that
settled.
foot long. That foot long.
Brother Buck, what's been going on, man? What's been happening with you, man?
Oh man, cooling. Just happy to be here, you know.
Shit, man. Glad to hear everything's going well, man. See you pushing out heavy content. You going at their neck, boy. I like the content, man. You consistent with it.
Yeah, I feel like I ain't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Let's get it.
Man. Well, we get on to the daily dose of dog talk and shit, man. Well, how you been feeling? The community's been rocking, man. I gotta get caught up. I got caught up with certain things. I ain't get caught up with everything. I've been tight busy raking leaves, man. But what's your overall aspect of the community so far? We heading in the right direction? Has it gotten worse? What's happening?
I mean, you know, I can't say that even though, you know, a few bad apples could spoil the bunch, I can't say that that's the representation of the community. You know, that wouldn't be fair. It would undermine a whole lot of hard work that and good shit that people's doing, you know. So I don't want to gloss over that, but if I'm looking from my better lens, you know, there's some people coming up. You know, I've seen a couple people coming up. I talked to a couple dudes today. They got some real good dogs. You know, they building, and it's been a bunch of dudes that, you know, just came home off of beds and shit, and just getting back into the dogs, and you know, like 8 months to a year fly by and shit. They got pretty good selection of dogs also. So on the good foot, you know, people that really want to dig in and get something out of this and get results and shit, I think they always will have good experiences and stuff like that. But if you're in it just for the clout, or if you're just in it just for the piss match, you know, you're gonna have to take your L's. You know, that's what it comes with it. So yeah, there is a little small sector of clown behavior, but there is a lot of building and, you know, people moving, you know, elevating fast, I should say, because, you know, you stay clear of the bullshit, you know, good things happen. So yeah, it's up. Who's up in here?
And they gonna say I'm in here making a sandwich.
Let me see. Papa Bad, I see you, brother.
As I don't know, man. You've been making buttermilk fried chicken and shit. I don't know what the fuck you got going on, bro.
Hey, that's all the wax and dabs and shit.
Seasoned to perfection, ass motherfucker. Yeah, Gas and Go in the building. Shout out to the homie Gas and Go, bro. I know you doing the. I don't know if you entering the samurai thing this year, man. The boys coming for you, bro. Boys coming for you. I'm hearing things. Kenyon Jackson in the building. Quick CFC. Carl Richard. I don't know if I caught him already. Yeah, man. I think the community's been going in a good place, man. I see a lot of good brothers out here with kennels, man. A lot of brothers with good, solid animals, man. You know, the few bad shit don't outweigh the good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's been a lot. It's been a lot of good shit going on, especially for myself. I'm just having a good old time. But Kendrick, I don't know, sandwich making, whatever you got going on, brother, man. What's been going on with you, man?
Man, I've been chilling. I'm trying to get it right, man. I'm trying to trying to put the masterpiece together, man, you know. Uh Trying to stay out the way of the haters, man, cuz they bro, I really don't want to get into that, but it's like how are you so big and this other person is so little but you so worried about him?
Oh,
That's the killer.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's been
so 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 for me, I'm kind of trying to just stick to my path and go with what's working for me. I don't want no scatterbread shit.
I feel you. I feel your aspect. IDT Kettles, what's going on, sister? Hope all is well with you on this Saturday. What is it? Saturday night. Chilling over here with the
Saturday night.
Thompson man. 3:30 game dogs in the building, in the woods. Gas and Go. Yeah, I know you coming for him. His keep game is mean. He got him out there on the Jenny
Yeah,
and
his dogs be
everything.
looking nice as fuck.
Keep him working, man. Keep him working. That's the key. Keep him working, man. But I'm
That
glad to hear all
Griselda
is well
dog,
with you.
huh?
I
I
say
was
shit.
looking
I'm
at the
glad to hear all is
comments.
well with you.
Oh yeah, all is well, bro. I was just looking at the comments. Old buddy said he liked that Griselda dog, man. That was like one of the first litters I did. That's like real special to me. I hold that to the chest. I ain't been able to get nothing off of it, but boy, if I do.
Good things come to those who wait, man. Shit, you know me. I sat on the bench for 5 years, bro. It's critical, bro. Caught that bitch
Funny
in heat
thing
by
is,
accident.
that's her auntie.
I know. I know. I know. That bitch, some of the bitches don't swell up like that, man. It'd be like, God damn. And it'd be bad because you catch a good heat, but that'd be the one that you skip, and you'd be like, I'm gonna catch it the next go around, and time flies, and then next thing you know, you like looking for the shit, and then it's like, man, this is bad. This is bad, but shit, it pay off in the end, man. Shit, I don't mind the wait if the product good at the end of the day.
Yeah, because them puppies you got off of that, man, they nice, bro. They nice.
Turned out she been throwing some napalm, man. Like I said, sat on the bitch for 5 years and shit, man. Good dog. That's why she was able to stay there for 5 years. But at the same time, shit. Turned out that she throwing some shit. Shit. I was looking at you stuck with Onyx for years, nigga.
Ain't that something?
Scooty Scoo. Wing Wing Moon in the building. What's going on, brother man? Brother man. Quick
That boy
FC.
Wing
I
be
go
on
there.
their
Well, Wing ain't playing with him.
ass.
Wayne ain't playing with him. Shit. Get to a point with the bullshit, man. You know what I mean? Shit is just bullshit. And it'd be like, if you can see through the bullshit, you alright. But if you can't really see through it, it becomes aggravating. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it 100 across the board. Salute Thompson and Buck City, all the true and real. Improving the breed daily. I be who I be. Salute Thompson's, Kendrick, Buck City, and all the others. True and the real American Pit Bull Terrier Kennels, improving the breed daily. Yeah, it's a daily thing. Salute. The long way in the building. Pause. D. Harris, Nazaro Watkins. Man, they just keep rolling in here, man. Yeah, we just opening up the show, fellas. We over here just talking about our little daily shit, man. Little personal shit with the dogs. We ain't doing nothing heavy right now. But yeah, the hate is real. The hate is real. It's not easy having good dogs, man. It's not easy having good dogs. It's a heavy weight to burn. It's a heavy weight to carry. Free will. Blackout in the building.
Salute to everybody in the chat. If I ain't said it already.
I'm trying to catch them all as they come in. You know, we try to give flowers out. You know, people take the time on their Saturday and shit to tune into the show and shit. You know what I mean? We try to.
Oh, yeah.
I try to get it. I try to give everybody a shout out while they come in. I try to give them a good little 10, 15 minutes. Open up the show and catch everybody that's what's going in. Wingmo, Soul Power, yeah. We got everybody pretty much. So what pack we smoking on tonight, fellas? What is going on? What's going on, man? Shit.
y'all light it up, and then I'm just gonna hit it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on that Pelican pack.
Hey, we know you roasting that nigga.
Yeah, Pelican packs tonight.
Well, you can't write this shit, man. You really can't write this shit. I was telling Kendrick, man. I said, man, when I get out of dogs, man, I'm gonna do just like everybody else doing, write a fucking book. And I'm gonna put all this shit in the fucking book. I'm gonna dedicate a chapter to this. The social media games.
I'm gonna say this right now. To go with the book, you better watch what you do, because I'm coming like Uncle Murder at the end of the year.
Oh shit, that's how you roll it.
Hey, you better watch the content to drop. You better watch how you're moving out here.
Yeah, I know you collecting the video footage. It's some footage to collect too, bro. It really is. The shit has been.
Bro, this shit. I be sitting back thinking to myself about a lot of this shit, bro. And we say it can't be made up. It can't be wrote. I be like, bro, it's the internet, because this can't be real life. I just watched another episode of Cops yesterday. You know, he was like, bro, just ask Thompson. He's like, bro, ask him what? Like, bro, another episode of Cops. I'm passing the joint.
Oh man. Lock them up. How much exercise work games don't require on a daily basis? Just curious. I'm only familiar working with shepherds and Malawites. I'm gonna get to your question. Yeah, man. At some point, I'm gonna get to your question, homie. But at some goddamn point, man, it'd be like, man, who would have ever thought this shit would have got so popular? You know what I mean? Like being the topic of discussion all the fucking time, man. It's really kind of wild, man.
You know, it's cool when they do it.
Hey, man, I enjoy the shit, man. I feel like, man, if I'm getting a certain amount of hate, I'm right where I need to be.
That's for sure.
If I ain't getting that certain amount of hate, I don't feel like I'm really on my fucking job like I know I'm supposed to be. But when I get that certain level of hate, I know I'm getting closer to the finish line on the ads. So it's a good feeling. It's really a good feeling.
The way this should be making them squirm and move around, shit, I don't even want to see a finish line. Just keep torturing you.
Man, that's the good thing about this shit, though, man. I feel like it keeps me on my toes. You know what I mean? Keeps me on my toes. It's good to know the climate of where you at and how people are seeing your dogs. And if it get to a point where somebody's envious of you, you know, man, shit, you really moving, man. I've seen a lot of kennels get popular, become unpopular. You know what I mean? But you know, you get some longevity with the shit. You know, it means something. It means something in this game.
That's right. That's right.
CSK in the building. What's going on, brother man? What's going on, brother man? Appreciate you chilling with us on this Saturday and shit. But the goofy behavior, it is what it is, man. I just accepted it, man. Over the years, it's just different characters with this shit. You know what I mean? They come, they go. It be some new motherfuckers. It never truly ends. It never truly ends. So I just take it with a grain of salt. I just be on the level of it, like it could be dogs, but when it start getting into violence and people threatening people and shit, you know, then it gets serious, you know. And once it's serious, it's serious, you know. Certain things you can't take back. You know what I mean? Put stuff out there, it gets disrespectful. You talking about people's families and all kind of stuff. It goes to a fucked up place, and you know, there's no apologies for me as far as I'm accepting any. Or you know, I heard a lot of weird stuff go on. Some videos were sent to me and shit. I observed videos, and what I took from it is like, you know, as far as the pussy bay kennels nigga, um, for you to come out your mouth and say what you be saying, and then say, hey, I hope me and Buck could get together and do some content. You know, it's that's kind of crazy to me, man. So you wild disrespectful, and you think like, oh, we could be good after that. Everybody ain't the same. I didn't get wild disrespectful with you because this to me ain't really nothing to get wild disrespectful over. You came at me on some bullshit. Never did business with you. Never sold you a dog. Nothing, nothing real. You asked for an interview. I didn't give you the interview. Let you ride for a minute after you was talking greasy, and then you get wild disrespectful again. So I let you know about yourself. Point blank simple. What I said, I ain't say one lie out my mouth. Everything I fucking said was real. Deal Holyfield. You searching for content, find the Ku Klux Klan members you went into and invite them on your show. Let's stop the goofy shit. Well, we all know you have obviously had some sort of vendetta all this time since you asked me for the interview, because that was damn near like a year and a half ago. So you was feeling some kind of way for a long time. And still, this is all internet shit. But yet again, you smoke mad skinny blunts. You smoking a lot of paper and leaves. And you talking crazy. So it's like, I don't know if you got a mental issue or what it is, but it's got kind of far. Because if you threaten me, I'm going to find where you live and all of that. I don't take those threats lightly. So I know this is like social media weirdo shit, but at the same time, everybody ain't playing like that. So you know, it ain't no I'm sorry's, and we could be cool and do content. I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm just speaking for myself. We can't do that, bro. Disrespect ain't tolerated. Not with me at all. So there you have that part. So the weirdo being attached to me kind of thing, constantly bringing me up every other video and that weirdo shit is it's weird, bro. It's really weird, bro. Can't speak for Buck. Can't speak. Kendrick's not really involved in this shit, but you know, I can't speak for Buck. All I
Man,
can
nah, it
speak
is
on is
weird,
myself.
bro.
But I
Hey,
but
nah,
but I
it's
will
weird.
I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out of
Oh,
there.
it's weird.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out of there. Far as I go, you know, I fuck with everybody, but I fuck with Thompson. That's bro. That is a brother to me. Like from another mother. He ain't gotta be there. If there's some shit go down and you're doing some heavy threatening, and if I'm able to reach you, and I ain't trying to play no tough guy, you gonna get it. I stand on business. Just like I said, with anybody that I ever encountered on this internet, if I ever said I was gonna do something to you, I don't want you to forget that I said that I'm gonna do something to you, and I'm gone.
Buck, I'll let you weigh in since we smoking on this pack to open up the show.
Hey, man, you know.
I know you've been doing. I know you've been going in. I know your personal vendetta is different because this shit affected you on a court level and it affected you on a case level. So you know, to me, it's just the normal weirdo internet shit. Like we all know, you fugazi. Ain't nothing about you official. Ain't you're not scaring anybody. Like I said, this ain't over no money for me. But this is some shit that affected you on some serious kind of shit. So you know, I'll let you guys spit, man.
Yeah, nah, hey, you know, basically, I mean, dude, my thing is I'm gonna just let dudes just dig their own ditch, you know. I'm not the one that is gonna try to save you and shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's only a matter of time before you can, and that goes with media, period. I mean, that's how the media is designed. You know, if you just gonna spew out a whole bunch of bullshit, it's just a matter of time before people kind of wake up to the bullshit and kind of move on. And then if you're gonna base your whole platform, since we're talking about YouTube and interacting and you know things like that, I mean, it's not gonna be a good thing because that's pretty much all you're gonna be known for is the fuckery, you know. So if a motherfucker's cool with that, you know, a year from now, whatever, you know, when everybody kind of galvanize and build their channels and you know on some real shit, and you've only built, you know, just off of cops and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. I mean, if that's how you want to be remembered, I mean, I told you it was a tree hugger base channel anyway. So this is kind of who we're dealing with. I don't expect anything different. He's just one of those dudes that even if it was crime or well, you know, whatever it is, like you wouldn't do it with this type of individual. It's just one of those dudes. We all had homies like that you know, you wouldn't do nothing with that motherfucker though. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, nah, I wouldn't do nothing with that motherfucker because he too loud. He runs his mouth. He's spewing out a bunch of shit that's like not even true. Like if I'm gonna go in on you, I'm at least do the due diligence and bring the receipts. So if you I think we're moving toward that direction because everybody's kind of done with the shock factor of everything. So now it's time for people to kind of like, you know, bring the receipts and just court case, old ass court dates and shit. That's not gonna be too much effective if that's, you know, how you feel that you're gonna win this battle, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. You know, you just keep posting that shit, you know what I'm saying? You keep doing it. And there's so many contradictions. Like if I get a hold of you, I'm gonna blend you up, I'm gonna come with a couple of receipts. But if you really get one of those real YouTubers to really dice you up it's gonna look bad for you because he makes contradictions all the time. You know, he copies my content all the time. Like this isn't something that happens a little bit. Like everything I say, you know, he copies it. Everything, you know, what I've been doing. Like I don't know if his partners told him that, you know, yeah, man, you're in Buck City spot now, man. Yeah, you know, like you're doing a terrible job, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of persona it is, and then you're talking about people's family and you know all of this. I still won't go that far because it's just crazy. Then one minute you want to catch the fade, next minute you don't. You
It was
know,
really like a whole accent got thrown on this shit. You know, fight? I don't understand. See, my whole thing about it is this what it is now? Because I guess this conversation gonna have to be coming up. Is it like essential for you to be on social media to be able to sell and distribute your dogs successfully? Is that like have to be a package deal now?
well, I mean, if
And
you're a
hold on one
brand,
second. Hold on. I got a sucker in the chat. Thompson, Kennels, and Buck, you got called out and you didn't scratch. What type of keyboard retardo shit is you on?
yeah,
This shit ain't getting played out on
you can't
concrete,
scratch.
nigga.
I can't
This shit is
scratch with
getting
my keyboard, dummy.
yeah. Like what
I
type of
can't
social
scratch with
media?
my keyboard, you fucking dummy. I'm not
What
gonna
type
throw
of?
my computer across the room just to complete a scratch, you fucking dummy.
I don't even have a computer. I do my shit off my phone. I'm always outside. Like nigga. I guess this the retardo. This is the retardo section of the class. AG test. Let me get you. Let me get you. Uh, since we playing on the internet, that was my internet way of shooting you in the head, right there. Oh man,
And they call them police based kennels.
I'm just wondering in general, is that the new thing now? Because I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to find logic in something that I know is just completely stupid. You know what I mean? Trying to find some kind of logic. It's really that's where I'm
Hey,
at with it
but
mentally.
when you brought out the Sambo part, man, that was great, bro. Because I was like, bro, people be saying Uncle Tom, and niggas really mean Sambo. You feel me?
the, the whole thing is weird, bro. Like I told you, bro, how you went from Malinois trainer to ex Don Mayfield, and it's like you be saying the dumb shit. So when niggas bring up what come out of your mouth, it's like you're digging you're digging your own ditch. I just kind of want to be separated from it because it's like then you get the featherweight section of YouTube and they want to come with the bullshit. Oh, you're always in some shit, man. Fuck you, nigga. Like, y'all, like, come on. Got a big ass yard of dogs I'm trying to maintain and shit, bro. I don't get paid. I do get paid extra for this shit. I ain't gonna lie. I made some bread off of that situation.
I don't know who
That
JB is, but you know, I'm a grown man, brother. I'm a grown man, brother.
yeah, we got to get to a point in this community. Not even the community, because I be saying that I don't think this is a community issue. I just think you got weirdo ass motherfuckers. I was talking to Kendrick and shit. I was like, man, you remember being in school? They had like that section of kids, the special needs children. I'll put it like that. They had that classroom or those classrooms for those special needs kids. And you never really think to yourself, these motherfuckers grow up and they out here walking around this shit. You know what I mean? They're in the mix. Like they just don't disappear after high school and middle school and shit. These motherfuckers is actually driving cars and shit, doing all type of moves and shit. So, that factor into, it's kind of weird, bro. Kind of weird. But with all that being said, I'm feeling pretty good about this whole thing, man. The yard is flowing. I mean, I feel like I'm pushing this damn envelope. I really feel like I'm getting to where I need to get to in these dogs right now. I'm wondering if anybody in the chat, anybody could feel that groove and you starting to get into your groove again, man. I'm really starting to feel it. I've been bragging a lot, Kendrick. Been bragging a lot.
Oh yeah, you in your groove right now. I tell you all the time. I had to take my little break for a minute, but I took some lumps and I'm getting back to it. Gotta what you say? Got to keep on scratching.
Yeah, that's what this game really is, man. That's really what this game comes down to. Keep on scratching. I salute Buck and shit, all the shit he been through. You know what I mean? He could abandon even the social media aspect of it. You know what I mean? But man, bro, you've
Kept
been
on
coming through with
scratching.
some. You coming through with some hellified content, my G. I ain't gonna sit here and even hold you. I think Twin Joint gonna turn out to be a classic, bro. That Twin Joint was serious.
Nah, thanks, brother. I try to, give it my little, do my part, man. Like I said, nobody's gonna take this whole community by themselves. This shit is built up of many different people, many different camps, and it's the conversations that we have off the air, that really galvanize shit. So, I mean, I understand some people feel like they kind of left out and shit, so it's like the only way to get in is to just try to tear the shit down. But I mean, like you said, we seen them come and go, man. It been plenty that come and go, with this same old pattern. I was just listening to a video I made the other day. Well, I made it a long time ago, but I was just listening to it the other day. It was at least 3 years old. I was like, in a month from now, somebody's gonna be beefing with Buck City. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact, We can look up
Yeah,
2 months from now, even if this clown backs off, and it's gonna be somebody else. It's the rotation. People, they're waiting on their moment. That's why they got these channels. That's why a lot of these trolls come to the chats. They're waiting on a motherfucker to slip up and fall so they could try to pick up the scraps and, try to act like they got the blueprint and shit instead of just coming to the door and just get the blueprint. Just be humble enough and just come get the blueprint. Don't wait for me to fall off and then try to take off with the Buck City live and take, like you did a terrible job and you had 3 times much time to do it and you still didn't do it, so it is what it is, man. That's why we got loyal motherfuckers in this community. And we just keep it rocking, man. We keep it rocking.
niggas still I ain't gonna hold you, bro. They motherfuckers stole your swag, man.
Yeah,
They really did steal your swag, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. They took that shit. And it was kind of weird, cause it wasn't weird, but it was kind of just sad, man. Like motherfuckers was really preying on your downfall to get that little slack, cause everybody come up with something new. You know what I mean? Whenever they come up with it, everybody had a moment, that idea when you push that shit forward and it takes off. Cause y'all know, if you see a video, a dog video with motherfuckers dubbing music on it, they got that from me. That's my thing. That's what I was always doing. Making my little dog music videos, showing my little pups. You may get 2 little vocal videos where I say something out my mouth per year. But that's pretty much the gist of it and shit. As far as creating it, and you created a lane. That wake and bake, that was the shit, bro. It was. I mean, it still is the shit. You done picked it up and kept it moving, man. So shit, like I said, I salute you again, bro. It's real easy to quit in this game, but it's a thing to scratch, man. It's a thing. If you fucking with these dogs, it's a scratch thing. But it never ends. Me and Kendrick been through this shit years ago with so many different characters, just like you alluded to. It's like, goddamn, bro. Motherfucker have to be 50 years old out here exposing motherfuckers and shit, man. It's kind of redundant. Dickie Foster. Got a couple questions I need to answer. I gotta scroll back up. I'm not doing no huge scheduled shit where I'm shooting off the hip. I'm trying to get a live in per month and shit. I'm trying to find old boy original question. Lock him up. How much exercise and work do a game pit require on a daily basis? Just curious. I'm only familiar with working shepherds and Malinois, smoking that bubba all night. Thanks, lock 'em up for swinging through, man. Shit. Buck, I'll let you open up with that question, man. How much exercise does a game pit require on a daily basis, you think?
I say at least a couple miles a day, man, you know, of just pure walking. I mean, that ain't that bad. A mile there and a mile back, that ain't that bad. Or even if it's 1 mile a day. I mean, we talking about the minimum. Then again, if he's running around on the chain and stuff, you know, he's gonna be exercising himself anyway. But I think if you can, rather if you got a treadmill or whatever you got, let him get a nice little walk in, or you know, so he could jump around and pull, and it really makes a difference. It does. The dog that's been walked every day for a year and a dog that hasn't, that makes a huge difference.
Kendrick, what you feel on that shit?
I try to. Well, the dogs that I got, man, they like high caliber. They ain't just sitting there. It's a lot of barking and shit be going on. So if you saw any of my videos, I be trying to work like 2-3 dogs at a time because it be taking like an hour. I say probably if you get a good hour in, so I don't know, equivalent to what Buck was saying, maybe like 2 miles, 3 miles. If I can get some of that action and rotate, you know, between tug of war, the treadmill, and even if you saw it, I had a rope just on a stick that I had in the ground, and the dog was on a chain, and he was just running and bouncing back and forth. You working several different muscles, you know, and you know, you putting the time. See, I got several dogs, man. You sitting on 40, I got like 17. It's a big difference, but like, bro, I'll be out there. I be trying to get it. They gonna see. So
Yeah,
I say probably like, bro, I be trying to get like 3 hours. It's starting to be daylight long enough too now. The weather breaking, so I'll be out there probably like 3 hours to switch up a few of them dogs. Couple miles,
yeah.
about 3-4 miles.
You fucking heavy with the slack.
Oh, I'm pushing them to the limit.
All right.
I'm pushing them to the limit.
Yeah, man, shit. For me, that question depends on the setup and the living conditions of the dog. If you're talking about a dog that's on a 20-foot chain that's real active, I may lean back with as far as heavy work with them. But the dogs that I keep in kennels, those are the ones that I primarily try to get that mill work in with them, or the tug of war. Because I've been telling the cats forever that tug of war is a cheat code. That's like really knocking two down at one time. You know what I mean? And I keep about 2-3 of them goddamn double pulls. It's like a big ass spring, and I tie my 2 tugs to each end of them, and I keep about 2-3 of them, so I could set up probably about 2-3 different tug of war sessions. What's happening? Hey, what's happening? I could set up about 2 or 3 tug of war sessions up at once, so you know I'm getting 6 done at a time. You know what I mean? And it kind of helps because it puts a lot of pressure on the dogs, because if you slip up, I'll move to another dog. So that dog will be really determined not to let go. So they know, oh, if I slip up and let go, oh, he gonna switch up. And the other one, whoever stayed on, they can go on, and I'll move them around to the next one. But that's how I set my yard up. But you know, depends on the temperament of the dog. They all not the same. Because like I said, I I've seen some that could run 3 miles in the cage every day, just bouncing back and forth. I legit. I, that lady a rage dog. I mean, everybody think I'll have her in full keep or something, man. She's just naturally built like that because of the way she's mentally set up, the energy she burns every day. She's only 34, 36 pounds, but I gotta feed her like she's a 45-pound dog. And I mean, that's in a kennel. On the chain, it's even worse. I mean, they just never stop doing something. So yeah, I think it varies for every dog, but ideal situation, a nice good walk every day. You got the slat, throw them on there for 15, 20 minutes, depending on the pace that they go and the ground they covering. How much extra was that speedometer joint? Because didn't you have the speedometer joint on your shit?
That whole setup was like to the door was like 35, I think.
Yeah, and you got a handbrake too, innit?
Yep, it's got a handbrake. It's got the speedo. That's pretty much was the difference between the other one. That's why I tell anybody, I'm like, if you really into it and you really want to know, how many miles the dog actually ran, if you taking it serious, you know what I'm saying? Like on that level, you can get it. But if you like don't care and you just trying to run a dog a regular meal or do it, them like 1,500 to the door. But mine was like a gift for me, and I was just getting into it, and my girl wanted to do something, and she went all out. I'd have just got the 1,500 one if it was me, but
Yeah. I don't know what the prices is on them shits now, man. I know
shit,
what the
everything
economy
went
is.
up.
Because I kind of want to say I paid like 15. That was with shipping, and that was back in the day. That was a long time ago. I don't know what they're running for now, but it's a lot of good brothers, man. I got to get plugged in, man. I got a homie down here. He was telling me he had a partner that was doing the carpet mills, and he was letting them go for like 350 or something crazy like that. But they was like a real good carpet mill. I want to grab another one of them
Hey,
because I should abuse my shit.
I ain't putting out no promotion or nothing like not heavy like that, but it's a dude on Instagram, bro, called Mr. Bulldog TV, and he make meals and break sticks and you know all that deal with far as like certain exercise like treadmills, certain treadmills, carpet mills. He make them to where they spin a certain kind of way, like the tension and how loose they is. You can get them built to what you want. I think he make them on inclines and shit. And he make them out of wood slats too. And
Man,
he
I
been doing
wanna
it for
find
a
a
while.
I wanna find a motherfucking a carpet mill that's built like that slat mill where ain't nothing on it could really rot. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
motherfucking that's why I fucked up my grand carpet mill. I had fucked with them boys and I got that back in the day. That was like for 549 and that was the big, I think they call it the big dog edition or some shit. It really was too big for what I had going on for the dogs at that time. Maybe now with some of the bigger dogs I got, but at that time I overshot it. I should have got a medium, but even that setup was like 549 straight to your door and shit. And that I just like I said, I didn't take care of that shit the way I was supposed to take care of that shit. That was a certain kind of maintenance that needed to be done on that. But what was homeboy name again? Shit, I'll get his little business. I know you ain't shit, doing no promo or nothing for homie, but for any of the brothers out there and shit,
Mr. Bulldog TV.
Mr.
Yeah, he a
Bulldog
good
T.
dude, you know what I'm saying? He an older gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Conduct good business. I ain't never seen or heard nothing bad about him. I actually entered a raffle one time to try to get one of his slap meals, just supporting his cause or whatever. And it came with like some brake sticks and like a walking stick that he had made, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you really was still getting some, even though you was entering a raffle. You feel what I'm saying? To get the meal. It was he a good dude, bro. Mr. Bulldog TV.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Shit, I fell off of the carpet mill work. I ain't gonna lie, man. Not just the fact that the carpet mill had broke. the reason why it had broke it kind of fell out of my conditioning program to a certain extent. I don't know why, but I just didn't feel like I was getting what I was supposed to be getting out of it. You know what I mean? And I knew it was kind of the way I wanted to push. I guess the type of dogs I had, when you got those dogs that shoot off and shit, and you put them on it, they burn up and run hot so quick. And I know they always say to work them in increments on it, but I just felt like the whole thing was like becoming counterproductive. You know what I mean? And I was getting a little bit more strength off of that weight, pulling weights and shit, or tying the chain up to the harness and just letting the dog go for a run. I felt like I was getting somewhat of the same results doing it. So it kind of fell out of my program a little bit, but I kind of want to bring it back in there, man. I really do.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I was out there where you was at, I mean, you got to get in your groove, but I'll be terrorizing them with the work, bro. You in it? You got great space. You got, you
Yeah.
got. I wish I had space. You feel what I'm saying?
And
When I,
it's one of those. It's been like, how it's a wave, bro. When it comes to these dogs, and you do your breedings, and then you got a certain amount of attention you putting towards the pups and the breedings, and then as far as the older dogs go, you're working them in waves because it's like, once you start acquiring generations, I damn near got like a little senior citizen section of my yard. You know what I mean? Some of these motherfuckers is 8, 9 years old and shit. You know what I mean? So you got your little senior citizen section, then you got your young puppies, then you got your adolescent dogs that you're breaking them in to the
hey,
routine of what you.
listen, bro. Listen, bro. You've been great to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. All the information I ever needed, you know what I'm saying, and the dogs you sold me, bro. You ain't never did nothing ill to me, bro. And I appreciate it. You feel what I'm saying? And to see from where you was at and where we started at from when I met you to see it now, it's great. It's a beautiful thing. You feel what I'm saying? I understand the hate from over here. You feel what I'm saying? I see it. I know why. And then that video you put up today, yeah, I really know why.
Shit, man. I just try to stay
Congratulations,
consistent with it.
brother.
Oh yeah, man. I accept the roses, my G. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've accepted this nigga of the year award. Appreciate it, my G. 330 game dogs, Thompson's. What exercise your keep includes? Oh shit. Mostly, I do a lot. Some people don't like it, but I love the spring pole. I love the slat mill, and I love that weight pulling. I got like a little trench. I'm starting to have one in the ground with the on the other side of my house and shit. I got like maybe a good 30, 40 foot stretch of just flat, even ground with grass. And I can go ahead and do my little pulls there, hook up a little 35 pounds, let them pull it 30, 40 feet, flip them around, bring them back down. I've been kind of just trying to make it more practical as far as what I'm doing. It's easy to have a lot of different shit that your exercise you're doing, but you want this to be somewhat what I'm taking from it, the years of me fucking with this stuff and getting all this information from all these different dog men and shit about the keeps. It's You want it to be about an hour, but you want it to be a practical hour. I'm not trying to jam pack so much different shit I'm doing where it's not practical and it's not consistent. So I told y'all I kind of cut the carpet mill out. I want to reintroduce it, but I replaced the carpet mill with the weight pulling. I like my spring pole. I like my tug of war. I do a little bit less flirt pole work than I used to, but I'm running it down to that, based around the slat and the pulling of the weights. Welcome down, Ram, in the building. What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
What's cracking, man? What we in here lying about today?
Oh Lord, we
Niggas
did,
on
we
the
did, we
internet
did a
be
light
lying.
we did a light Pelican base pack smoke early. To me, the shit is exhausted, man. I'm
It's a
just
waste
tired of this.
that pack was a waste of time.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I've been telling niggas for a minute, man. This internet shit is getting weird, man.
Weirder by the day, bro. Weirder by the goddamn day. How y'all
Yeah,
doing though? Y'all good?
yeah, man. I can't make no noise, man. I'm out here trying to make it in this cruel world.
I seen you had that old chain eater out on the chain again. That motherfucker still trying to eat the chain.
But I done used fucking the spray that you put on shit for them to stop spraying. I use cayenne pepper and hot water. I use everything, bro. I've done everything, man. The dude is just so wild and crazy, but it's like you can't be mad at him because it's like, hey, this is what you wanted. So
He acting like an inbred. You feel me?
yeah,
He acting
yeah, it's
hella
like
inbred. That's how my
dude, just
inbred dogs be acting. Got just weird quirks like that. Like, motherfucker, you acting like an inbred dog today. God damn it.
yeah, man. He cool in the kennel to an extent, but you know that chain. Because when he find out he can't get to what he want to get to, he start fucking with the chain, man. Fucking snipe, man.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta let us do. Man,
Hell yeah.
I missed a lot of people in the chat. Samurai Kennels in the building, man. What's going on, man? Shit, peace and prosperity. Fucking Martinez, RDT. Yeah, I ain't miss nobody else. We just been answering questions after that, man, and shit, man. Pretty much, I've been hitting some people in the chat that been answering some joints. They was talking about how much time you think is daily. Pit bull daily should daily amount of exercise a pit bull should get. You can get cook on that since you just jumped in. Let me get caught up with these other questions.
Well, yeah, if you a motherfucker such as myself, then only 30 minutes, because you're going to pack a whole lot of punch into that 30 minutes. It's going to look like Billy Blank's program or some shit. But, if you not like me, for one, don't go out there and kill yourself. You still worth something. But I say, depending on how many you got, 45 minutes to an hour every day is cool. That's why, again, though, too, we never kept a whole bunch of dogs at once just because motherfuckers like putting that time and that work in with them. You got a full time job and shit. When you get off and get home and shit, that's a whole nother part time job you about to do if you got a whole bunch of dogs. So, I don't keep no more than four. And I could fuck with them for an hour a day if I want to. And that's only 4 hours out my day. I can still move around and go fuck around and shit.
Yeah, add more dogs to the plate. It's real. It's
Yeah,
real.
'cause the time got to be divided. So if you got, like I say, four dogs like me, and you can spend an hour a day with them. When I say if I get fucking five five dogs now, that's just took 15 minutes off each dog fucking time. Just so I can start working with this new motherfucker for the hour. I ain't got 5 hours a day to fuck with you niggas. I still fucking got two jobs now. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
that's the
imagine.
main thing. Finding
Yep.
fucking time and to get them, boy.
Yep. So
Shit.
if you got 10, shit, you might be lucky if you could spend 15 minutes a day with them,
Yeah, man.
and really put the work in. But, you seem to got it figured out because you kind of got them on like a conveyor belt type shit to where, the older ones who like to work and the ones who need the most work get worked. And the ones who get older, you start showing them how to work and all that shit. So it seems like everybody be cool. But I know that got to take, at least 4 hours out your day, 5, 6 hours out your day just doing that.
Oh yeah, bro. I take it to the chest though, man. I'm a G about it. I'm a G about it. I'm gonna get ready to bust some moves and shit though, man. Shit, I'm at a good healthy number. But shit, I'm just still in the process of making assessments. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You start getting everything you wanted, and now you like, okay, what's the next fucking move? And now you starting to try to find what's fucked up about this one and what's fucked up about that one.
Yeah,
You're trying to
exactly.
find things to exclude them out.
Yeah,
That's how I've
so
been playing
my
ball.
best advice would be now that you got what you wanted, start seeing who's the best of what you wanted and start going through them. And that's not no knock on the second and third best ones. It's just if out of three dogs, this the one who stand out. You keep him and fucking sell the other two. They still good dogs, but they not the best.
Yeah, man. That's for the young homies, man. Decisions always have to be fucking made. I hope I answered the 3:30 game dogs. I hope I answered that question about the exercises I use. Shit, Ramsey, what you be if you was condensing down a nice keep and you just want to do a limited amount of exercises, what would you condense it down? Just saying three. Let's do three. Let's be realistic, cause
Three tools that I could use would be the slat mill, of course, a good weight pull harness, and the fucking flirt pole over a spring pole, because I could get a little bit more out of the flirt pole than I can the spring pole. As far as explosiveness, a little bit more faster reaction, as far as the mouth go, just because how I do my shit or how I used to do it. Uh, yeah, them would be the only three I would need because them don't really, I used all the tools, but just them three right there, I could get it done, and be fucking I would be more not lax, but I would be more confident taking the dog out with those three tools right
mm,
there, you know. And I know I could get it done. And if I didn't get it done, I knew it wouldn't be, because of the tools. It's probably because I let him mutt trick me. He
all
told me he
right.
was a bulldog.
Shit, Buck, you got three on it. What you got? This motherfucker would probably fuck with his set.
Man, that
Kendrick,
nigga
what
got three
It,
plates over
I'm
there.
gonna use.
Three
I'm gonna
plates of
use.
food.
I'm gonna use the slat, the flirt, and probably do some hand walking.
oh shit. Came out with the HWs on
That's probably
them.
the route I'm gonna go.
You hand walking with the harness on? Any weights on it?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I got one. I'm gonna show it too. I ain't pulled it out yet. Um, I don't really put too many weights in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on some lightweight shit. My dog's kind of small, even though they can, get down. But I've been using probably like 10 pounds or something, and just having them jumping around and maneuvering and getting them used to it. Because again, I ain't broke it out. We just started using it, so that's what I'm about to uh implement in my shit. But just on the regular shit, yeah, a lot of hand walking, the slap meal, and the flirt pole.
Yeah, I like the weighted collars. I've been fucking with the weighted collars. I got
Well,
like an
we've been fucking
assortment.
with them for years.
Yeah, man, shit, them shits is the truth. I don't know why they got such a bad rap, or people was making it seem like it was a fucked up piece of equipment to use on a dog. But man, that especially the 4 pound did me justice. I ain't even gonna lie. For like all them 30, 35 pound dogs, that 4 pound was serious. And then for the bigger dogs, I went up to like a 5 or a 6. But I have like different weights all around, man. I get a lot of results off using weighted collars, man. I don't know what the deal is with that now, but I guess they talk shit about using the weighted collars.
Man, they stupid as hell too. And you don't really need more than a 5 pound one, even for a big dog. I got one from a 3 pound up to it's like five and some change, and the motherfuckers is life changing.
Yeah, man. IGT. Well, I got a question. Can y'all compare the carpet to the slat mill? The carpet mill to me is more or less it's lifting weight. It builds a lot of muscle on the dog. So I guess if you wanted to compare the two, one would be lifting weights and the other one would be like jogging, running, you know what I mean? Cardio. So cardio to lifting weights.
Yeah. There's only two carpet mills I seen run real smooth, and they don't even make them no more. And that will be the Kobe carpet mill. That shit run like a slab mill. And then the Spain carpet mill, it run just the same. It's just constructed differently. But other than that, yeah, like you said, if you want to build some bulk, and a little bit more core strength, carpet mill all day. But nah, you really don't want too much of that in your program.
Yeah, that's the thing about that carpet mill, man. They bulk up real quick. It What was the time length you had run your dogs on that carpet mill? Because I heard so many different variations. I heard people say they leave their dogs on that shit for 10, 12 minutes, all the way to people saying they pull them off like at 3 minutes, 4 minutes. What would you fuck? How you
Well,
fuck
yeah,
with
I
your
would
time?
I would do mine like how I do on the slat mill. So let him burn out on it, and when he stop, I take him off.
All right, shit. And you take them off. You was rubbing them down because I was doing the rub down.
Well,
I
I
was.
do the rub down when we done, so I take him off after he stopped burning out on it, and I let him catch his breath back, and I time how long it's taking him on that too, to get his second wind. Then I put him back up there, and we gonna do, depending on where he at in the conditioning program, either 3 sets or fucking 10.
Yeah, man. Because see, that shit that I had, man. That car. I can't speak for all, man, but that grand carpet mill I had, man, that shit was brutal for them dogs to run. And I had positioned it in a couple of different ways where I was getting
Yeah.
a certain amount of ease, but it just seemed like they had to dig down
Well, yeah,
on
because
that
the rollers
motherfucker.
they used, man, wasn't all that good. The bearings in them, especially if you got one of the earlier model ones, like
Hmm.
them rollers suck, bro.
Yeah, man. You see your fucking dog after 2, 3 minutes, bro. It'd be like, well, god damn. Like you felt like you was pulling a car or some shit watching your dog on the shit. So I used to take them off after about 3 minutes, rub them down, put them on the slat, let them jog out, then take them off, put them back on the carpet mill again. Because to me, it was like I couldn't just use that shit as the shit for the whole day. You feel what I'm saying? It had to be in conjunction with another tool. Like certain days, you could say if I'm gonna do the slat, I'm just gonna do the slat. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna rub them down, walk them, call it a day. But that carpet mill, man, I guess I'm just eager to get a good one, man. And I didn't even know you said Lem was making them joints.
What'd you say?
Who you had said was making the ones that ran like a slat mill, but he don't make them no
Oh,
more.
Kobe, the Kobe
Kobe.
mill. Yeah,
Oh, I
they
think
used to
you talking
have
about
some
Lem.
cold ass mills painted in that old school red. And then a old cat named Spain. He don't even make them no more though. But yeah, them was the two best ones, bro, that I've seen. As far as ones that spent just like a fucking slat. Yeah. So you would get, a nice hard muscle without growing a big bulky muscle, if that makes sense. Because you get
Mm,
more of a run out of it than you are a force. Like with the Grand Carpet Mill, the dog, like you was saying, gotta like force it to get to going. Whereas they fucking mills is like a slap mill, bro. As soon as you get on it, that motherfucker start moving. So it really wouldn't
mm,
wear them out like that, but it had more resistance than a regular slap mill.
mm, mm. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna search for. Cause I basically replaced the carpet mill with the motherfucking pulling weights. That's where I was at with the joints. I I I, I feeling like I was getting a little bit more results. It was a little bit more controlled. You know what I mean? I don't know. But to each his own and shit, man. To each his fucking own. All right, let me see. Screen through.
But you know, with my slat too, with that handbrake, it's got like a little knob on there to where like you can make it pull it
Yeah, you could
up
add some
to a.
resistance to it.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was another good thing about having all the little trinkets on it.
yeah.
Hey,
That's what I was gonna
Thompson.
say too. No, there wasn't no pit bulls that got Compton swoop, bro. There was some big old bullies. You know,
Hey, look.
uh, it would have been they pit bulls would have been out there fighting each other if they would have been loose like that. They wouldn't have been fighting him.
Oh yeah, man. That was some wild shit, man. Oh
Yeah,
God, man.
yeah, them was the
Damn.
bullies, and he had some fucking other big ass exotic shit over there. Them big old man stopping dogs like Presser or some shit. One of them big motherfuckers, Kane Corso, something like that, was over there too. So, yeah, nah, the media say they pit bulls, but them is not, the pit bull. That's one thing I hate, that because the pit bull get a bad rap for that. Ain't no big old fucking 160-pound purebred pit bull. That shit got everything else in it that don't like people. He just looked like a supersized pit bull. So nah, we
Yeah,
ain't gonna take that one.
that's gotta be fucked up to get done in on your yard, bro. God damn.
Hell yeah. With any breed of dog, if you gonna call yourself a breeder, you gotta have that shit in order, bro. The dog's gotta know you the leader of the pack. You the big dog. Or the motherfuckers gonna challenge you. Shit, a bulldog will challenge you. Look at Bully Son. You know, motherfuckers used to have to come across Bully Son with the shovel or the 2x4 or something till he
Yeah,
got it
man.
right. So just
Man,
think
shit.
a dog like that, but fucking the size of a full grown man. Like, come on, bro. Good luck. It's hard getting a fucking 35-pound motherfucker off for you. As far as dogs go, I think a
I
100+ pound dog finna do to you if you ain't like that.
Yeah, I think they packed up on them, bro. I think they pick it. I think Buck was saying shit, man. Something he had them all running free or some shit, and I guess they
Yeah.
clicked up and did them in type shit, man.
Yup.
You know, and that Caesar Milan shit, man. But
Yeah, man. That motherfucker be getting bit and shit. Nigga, like, come on now. That shit look good for the TV, but watch the blooper reels. That nigga be bit the fuck up. Them dogs don't be going for that shit all the time, nigga.
man, God bless his soul. I ain't even trying to laugh at a man losing his life, man. But god damn, boy, talk about taking the epic L, man. That's an epic
Hell yeah,
L,
you
man.
spent all that money on them expensive ass bullies, and that's how they treat you.
God damn.
Long live Compton Swoop, though, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah, what the fuck you calling it? Oh,
That's what
God.
Karen said his name was. Shit, I ain't know bro name.
Compton Swoop. Yeah, RIP Compton Swoop, man. RIP Compton fucking Swoop. Damn, G. That's something, man. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that going down, bro. That's a lot. Man, I got Butch Logan in here. I have a female I've been trying to breed. Can't get the male stuck to her first time. This has ever happened. What should I do? That breeding shit is a patience game, man.
Yeah, I
You
just
know.
was finna say, don't fucking quit. Shit. If you got to, because if
How
it's the
bad
male
you
first
want it?
time breeding, he gonna be missing and shit. Fucking humping all over the place. So you just gotta make sure the bitch stays still and be available for him to fucking mount her. Well, yeah, don't quit. Don't let it frustrate you. Shit. Our last breeding I did, I was out there fucking 4 in the morning getting it done. Fucking
Hey,
sun
man.
coming up in the background of the picture and shit.
Man, it's it's exactly what he said. What Ram said, man. That shit ain't everything ain't peaches and cream when it come to that shit. You know, I've been in situations where that shit has been 3-4 hours and shit, man. Depending on who you trying to breed and what attitude they have, and sometimes it's, you got to know when to call it a day. You know what I mean? When they had enough, and it ain't gonna happen. You may have to just reset and start the next day. You know, people sometimes it goes smooth. Sometimes it goes smooth. Yet again, depending on who you're dealing with. I don't know if you got male or female aggression or how you rocking. First time this, yeah, you ain't really got no details in it, but I could just tell you, man, just be patient. Try to have a routine on the dogs or on who's moving. If you're gonna leave her in her chain spot, or if you're gonna take him off the chain, or if you want to put them next to each other and try to do it that way, you know, you gotta get a little routine together and remember the situations that you had that dog bred in, because some dogs like to be in certain situations. You know what I mean? If it's one of them bitches that you gotta take her off the chain spot, and you gotta literally go away from the yard of dogs, take them to the other side of your property, whatever you got going on, where you can go ahead and be able to do what you do, because the energy that it give off when you taking dogs off the chain, if you got a yard of dogs and shit, it give off the energy. It's riling motherfuckers up too much. So be patient, be observant of how you trying to maneuver it, and get your little routine down for what you're doing. Because I used to try to be quick with some of my males, because I got a lot of males. They get aggressive real quick. especially if it don't go the way it's supposed to go. So I gotta be fast. Bam. Try to get it done 1, 2, 3. If I got maybe 2 or 3 chances after that shit, if I don't get it, then he's gonna go. His mind gonna go someplace else, and that day is scrapped. I gotta restart tomorrow. That type of deal. So the general in the building, 78 Sports TV, man. What's going on? The hardest working man in showbiz.
Hey man, what's happening with y'all brothers, man? I'm shit. It's
Shit.
the weekend now, so I got time for all the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying?
Man, should
All the
we?
fuckery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I finally get.
Well, should I don't know how long you've been watching the show. We caught up. We smoked on a little bit of the Pelican Bay pack. And shit was straight garbage. We started answering a couple questions in the chat and shit, man. Ain't nothing much, man. We just having an old kickback Saturday, little dog talk, answer some
Yeah.
questions for the young homies and shit. Ain't nothing special going on, man. Shit, what's been happening with you?
Oh nothing, man. I just seen you was live, just tuned in, man. I ain't know nothing, man. I'm just I'm kind of lost right now. The Bucks ain't playing, so it's whatever with me. I'm just chilling. The kids is going to the movies with my wife. Shit, ain't nothing to do, man. I'm thinking about jacking off. I don't know what's
I
going
just was finna say, man, this is prime jack off hour,
Hey,
nigga.
hey,
Shit,
this is funny,
uninterrupted.
man. Hey,
Got
listen.
time to scroll, find that
Man,
perfect scene.
7-8, man. I got a bone to pick with 7-8, man.
What's happening with it, Buck? What's going on?
I'm looking at some shorts and shit, right?
Right.
And this nigga 7-8 up in the barbershop talk about
Oh, damn.
we need to get rid of Dame's ass.
Well, that was some angry emotional shit, man.
You niggas is so entitled now, man. What's going on with you, Buck fans?
Man. Look here, man. This is what it is. Dame came out here, you know what I'm saying? He started talking shit, talking about he lonely and all this old shit. The nigga missing all his threes. Then he go to All-Star weekend and bust everybody ass. Like, nigga, do that shit in the game, bro. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Do that. Just do half of that in the game, bro.
That nigga only show up with his grand champion standing across from him.
I had to play that again. I said, wait a minute. Did this guy say get rid of Dame's ass?
Yeah, I'm just talking shit. We talking shit, man. I was mad and shit. Niggas in the barbershop mad. The next day, niggas in there talking about, yeah, man, Dame the bad motherfucker, man. That's how I go, man. Nigga playing like shit. We should do the same thing to Brett Favre. We should shit on Brett Favre every Sunday. Nigga throwing interception. And nigga throw a game with a touchdown. Yeah, that's motherfucking Brett Favre, goddammit. That's what we do that shit every time, man. Ain't nothing changed.
Entitled Milwaukeeans.
Yeah.
Boy,
All I
freaking
see right now with 7-8 talking is that old man Avatar.
Man, that should be funny, nigga. The groceries. Like, that's the type of old nigga 7-8 to be for real. With the can go on eating young booty.
Bro. As soon as that nigga said jacking off, nigga, that whole little Instagram shit just popped in my head. I said, this nigga wild.
Oh, that nigga a perv young man. He really gonna be a perv bro, man.
Man.
Who you got on that fight,
7-8,
man?
you been all right?
Who you got on that fight? Hey, who you got on this fight coming up? I need the boxing insiders
What
of
fight?
your boy Haney Garcia.
Oh, I got Devin. I got Devin on
What
that.
round you calling this shit in?
I got Devin by, I would say 9th or 10th round stoppage, man. I think it might go decision, but I don't know if Ryan even gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Ryan, he trying to get out the fight, man. He he lost his mind, so this dude playing games.
So that nigga smoking K2.
Yeah, he's smoking that bullshit, man.
Yeah, he over there with that pure perico, fool. Shit. He showed up with the pure fucking coke face and beard on. Like the niggas who be up for 4 days and ain't shaved. And he showed up looking like that. Nigga like Tony Montana before he died.
Hey, Thompson, how that boy bred? That boy you got. I seen the video you did earlier, man. You said he was bred to he's a product of a mother's son.
That was the old joint, man. You had asked me about back in the day, man. I had him the whole time, bro. You remember the double breed?
Yeah. I knew
Yeah,
it.
man.
I like that motherfucker way back there. I knew he was gonna be shit.
Yeah, yeah, man. The same dude, man. Dude just got bigger. You know, I just let him grow up, man. You know how I do.
Right.
They in the chat, man. They got the boxing man in here, man. They calling about this Tyson and Jake shit.
Oh,
Mike, don't do it.
I
Mike,
got
don't do it.
Jake Paul, man. That shit rigged. Jake Paul finna whoop Mike Tyson ass, bro.
Oh man.
And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't trust boxing, bro. I don't trust it.
And the pigs be in on a lot of that shit, bro. Just being behind the scenes with y'all niggas, like the LDBC shit, ruined boxing for me, bro. Like you get an inside look behind the curtain, you like, fuck, man. These niggas is all dope fiends back here.
Yeah, there'll be some shenanigans, bro. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers.
Hell yeah, bro. I used to love boxing. Like I watch every fight, nigga. It shit could come on Sunday, nigga. I ain't gonna go to church to fight all. I'll be like,
Man.
fuck, man. I wish I'd have just stayed a hardcore fan and not just fucking cool with fighters and shit now, so I could see what's really going on.
Yeah, man.
Man, Mike was like a hero to the hood in Brooklyn, man. It's like, man, I don't want to see dude go out like that, man. That shit gonna piss me off, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Facts.
This ain't like Nate Robinson getting knocked the fuck out, man. You know what I mean?
This something right. This the hood hero, man. Motherfucker can't get whooped by no Jake Paul, bro.
And Nate's a Seattle legend.
Yeah. Damn.
Hey, just because the man get knocked out, you can't take everything he done from him. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
No, hell no, I ain't saying that, man. I'm
No,
just saying
I agree.
I don't know what the thought process was in the doing that. You get what I'm
Nah,
saying? Like, you know,
he didn't think. Everybody thought. I mean, there was a lot of people that thought Nate was gonna win. Let's stop it.
and
I was rooting for Nate.
Nate's like 5'5", bro.
Man,
Nah,
look.
he's a legit 5'8", 5'9". You know.
Yeah,
But Nate, the reason why Nate lost, look, Nate a better athlete. The reason why he lost is because he wasn't trained in boxing enough for dude. Dude was trained. Jake Paul, everybody keep thinking Jake Paul is soft and shit, but that Jake Paul this nigga can fight, bro.
Nah,
Dude
he can.
fight.
I been said that he can fight. He
Yeah.
can fight, man. He'll
Yeah.
knock out your above average guy in the hood. He will.
Yeah, for facts.
He will knock the shit out of the above average guy in the hood. He will.
Yeah.
He will.
this nigga Jake Paul.
Nah, he will, man. He knows how to throw that little.
He might, but just, you know, them niggas is shooting now. You fucking get Jake Paul killed. Jake Paul
I'm with
don't give a
Ram.
fuck.
I'm with Ram. I'm with Ram. I'm with Ram.
That's a big ass white boy. That ain't no little dude, man. I gotta see the face off, but Mike's
Jake
still a
gonna
legit
be dumb.
220.
This is
Hey,
the
Jake
problem
gonna
with
be
Jake
dumb
Paul.
if he fighting around a bunch of pistols in liquor stores and
No.
shit. I mean, you know.
This the problem with dudes like Jake Paul. You can't listen if you once you know what's up, you gotta get him right away. Cause if you're thinking about going to your car, any of that shit, you gonna wake up tomorrow. What happened? Man, let's go find this motherfucker. Nigga knock you smooth fuck out. You gotta get him early.
That nigga 7 8 said, "Wake up, Tobo. Let's go find him."
Yeah, fuck that. You gotta get that motherfucker early.
So you got to get
Dope
him off the
fiend, that
top.
nigga. You got a dope fiend, Jake Paul on the streets.
Hell yeah.
Man, this motherfucking Jake Paul, man. I can't believe that. I knew that shit was gonna happen though, man. They was acting like that fight wasn't gonna happen. I said, man, Mike Tyson's gonna end up fighting that motherfucker. Watch what I tell you. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to fuck with it. Some homies will bet on it, and I'm like, It feels like if you bet, I feel like Mike gonna win because that's how this is gonna go. Everybody gonna bet on Jake Paul, and I feel like Mike gonna win this, and I feel like shit, that's gonna be the undercut on it. But I don't know.
That's what I'm
This is
saying. You
like too
can't even
techy.
trust boxing no more. Just because it might be that. Or it might be to play everybody betting on Mike and Jake Paul get the nod. Shit. Boxing is a fecal bitch right now, bro.
Man.
But how do we skip all the way to the Jake Paul and we just skip right over the Ogano situation?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I just saw, but maybe you guys could explain that.
Man, you saw motherfucker what a boxer would do to an MMA fighter if the MMA fighter got in the ring with a high level boxer. It's no different than when the boxers try to go over there and do the MMA against them niggas.
I'm talking
You
about the
feel
fake
me?
punch. That was a fake ass punch, bro.
That first knockdown was weird as fuck.
Did he hit him or not? Like,
The
did it
first
connect?
knockdown, that shit didn't look like it landed. The first one, it didn't, and it looked like the nigga just went down like he was supposed to go down, like that was a signal. Then he got up, and then AJ hit them second two. He hit him, but the first one looked weird as fuck. I don't know what that was about, bro. I'm like, man, but you know, that's why I don't gamble on this shit, bro. I don't gamble on boxing, bro, because you've been to kill somebody.
Man, then Ngannou say he was out. He felt like he was drugged or some shit. He didn't look right, bro. I don't know. He ain't look shit. He ain't look good at all,
And
bro.
niggas, Ngannou said he was sleepy. He was sleepy. He don't know why he was sleepy, but he felt sleepy in the locker room. I'm like, man, they got
Yeah, he hit him with the
Yeah.
George Foreman. I drank some water, got sleepy and shit.
They hit him with the rub. They rubbed that
Yeah,
man.
they did. Hell,
They rubbed me.
right.
He was just walking into them shits at certain points, man. It was just like, bro, move your head. I mean, god
The
damn.
rub was in effect.
Jesus Christ, man. You got picked the fuck off, man.
Man.
Romero got his belt. He fighting the Garcia. Yeah, they cooking on this boxing in the fucking chat, man. Shit, man. But
Man,
however,
motherfucker got paid though. I'm pretty sure he got paid more in that fight than he did for the UFC
Man,
fucking run he did.
he got like fucking $20 million. He good.
Yeah.
And he got never do shit else the rest of his life, man.
I'll fight a high level nigga and I'll let him rub me for 20 million. I will still come out there and fight hard as fuck, rubbed and all.
Hell
I
yeah.
know Tyson Fury swinging at the air like homeboy from Boys in the Hood, boy. I know he's swinging at the air right now, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. That motherfucker look like the next coming against Fury, boy. That shit look bad, bro.
Man,
Yeah,
what if that's the play to set that fight up?
but
AJ and Fury.
that's all because Fury. See, the thing is, AJ had he had the advantage of seeing Ngannou go, and Fury he took him lightly, like, oh, I'm finna whoop this dude ass. This motherfucker can't box, and then got up in there and didn't half-ass train and shit. Like, damn, this motherfucker he can punch. You know what I'm saying? AJ, you know what I'm saying? The element of surprise wasn't there for him. He like, oh nah, he ain't finna embarrass me. I'm finna train. This a real fighter. I'm finna beat this motherfucker ass or whatever. But that's how I see it, man. I think AJ was just ready to go. Fury could have got him up out of there, but Fury didn't train right, and Fury wasn't allowed to cheat and shit like he normally do. But the motherfucker, you notice, look, Fury hit that motherfucker so many times flush, and Gano didn't even move. But you know what I'm saying? But magically, when Fury, when he fighting outside of the Saudi Arabia, this motherfucker got motherfucking steel in his glove. Fuck out
Yeah,
there.
they ain't playing that cheat shit over there. They chop both of your hands off you get caught cheating.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Put that shit in the lockbox.
Hell yeah. Bury that bitch in the fucking desert somewhere, nigga. Your boxing career over. Nubs McGee.
Man, it's been going down. Shit. Got Don Jordan in the chat. What's going on? He said, "What's up with these raghead dogs? Who got them? Camp Click had them. Boot Camp Click had them. Well, shit, who over here knows about the raghead shit, man?
Hey, that redhead shit go. I ain't heard that shit in a minute though. If you do find some, good luck. That shit finna be way pushed back in the pedigree.
Mm.
It's been a minute since I heard of that shit. That was some good shit though when it was out. Like you said, BCC had it. It was some good. It was the goods, you know. But
Mm.
outside of their camp, I don't know who would have it, you know, and utilized it enough to still where it could be called that shit. And it's just not, you know, a dog in the pedigree and niggas is calling it all this raghead shit. And it's got raghead twice in the fourth on the bottom, you know.
Shit. What we talking about time? What time age is these raghead dogs? I heard of it, but I can't put my finger on it. I don't remember it like that. What we talking? Late 90s, early 2000s?
Like mid 2000s.
Yeah, it been at least 10, 15 years since I heard of him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. 15 at least.
They're probably around, you know.
Yeah, but like I say, is it around enough though to you can still say this a raghead dogs? Is
Right.
somebody retain the traits that raghead was known to obtain and produce, or like I say, is he just in the pedigree a couple times? His niggas calling it that. You know, them is two totally different dogs.
Push the fuck back. Huh?
Yeah, but I'm saying it could be pushed back if somebody just honed in on those traits of raghead and shit. You know, like okay, boom, I'm only breeding rag offspring right off a raghead that showed those traits and just kept that same fucking train of thought going up until present day. Then yeah, you could call that a raghead dog. You know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a plug on that, man. Shit, 15 years.
That's
Unless
true.
it's
Yeah.
somebody one of them bloodline breeders. They got something going on.
Uh,
Shit's hard to
Yeah.
keep up with, man.
hell yeah.
I got a homie in Chicago. Well, in Illinois, I should say, somewhere in Illinois. He got a dog. I think he said it's like got 5 times. It got champion freak in there in the back, but I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't know if he bred the motherfuckers to function or if he just bred them for the papers. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. We got fucking Kid Manila is inbreeding pit bull safe. Depending on how you're doing it. That'd be my best advice to you as far as inbreeding and line breeding. Depending on how you're doing it, individuals you're using. So, what is your definition of safe? Can't make a fucking monster and shit, snatch your damn face off. Uh, Opposite of the wake and bake sess, Jacob Bonner. Yeah, this is kickback Saturday. Relax, man. I know the energy and shit. People was expecting the whole type of. Nah, man. Kick back, relax, man. I done raked up fucking hundreds of pounds of leaves, man. I'm kicked back, man.
You know, that tree on your ass year round, ain't he?
Bro, man. It's summertime. It's like the greatest shade in the fucking world, man. It's the greatest shade. It cover damn near 3/4 of my whole yard, man. But when that motherfucker wintertime coming, that shit drop, bro. It's like having 10, 12 regular fucking trees, man. Fucked up tree of life shit going on over here, man. Fucking backpack blower broke. You know how you know if the motherfucker was just recording you in your backyard with no audio and shit, how the shit would look.
Hell
Right,
yeah.
right.
You shaking your head, you grabbing tools and shit,
Mad
trying to
the
do surgery on this
motherfucker.
motherfucker. You doing surgery on this motherfucker and shit, man. You like, man, what? And the whole time I was praying. I was like, yo, please, because I used that shit all winter long. I said, man, please let this motherfucker start, bro. Please don't let it be no bullshit. And that's what it was. And the new joint just came today. They said my shit was gonna come on Wednesday. The shit just came Saturday, bro. That's how they do you.
Hell yeah. But this one, though, just make sure you at least start it a couple of times during the winter, you know?
Bro, I just straight abused that shit. I did the old, shit, Ashy Larry cut your grass status, bro. I ain't had no filter in the motherfucker. I was just out here just reckless, beat. No.
Oh, yeah, yeah, out there all willy nilly.
Yeah, there's no regard for the equipment.
Yeah. You don't respect these tools, nigga.
Yeah.
No regard for the fucking equipment, man. Yeah, I asked for that shit.
Uh, this
Hey,
Anybody
yard
heard
look
about?
good, though, shit,
I'm gonna
man.
give
I
it to y'all
like
in a
that
minute. I gotta
shit.
take this call real quick.
Do your thing, 78, man.
All right, peace,
Appreciate
bro.
you swinging through, brother, man.
Yes, sir.
Anybody heard of the Bobby Ackle stuff? Had grand champion Nicodemus. Dog is down through the Boudreaux's prissy stuff from Jerry Holloway stuff. Mm. Mm.
I ain't even hip, bro. Huh? Put me up on it, shit.
Yeah, bro. Y'all, they hit me with all this stuff. Have you heard? I ain't never been one to constantly just keep my ear to. I'm always fucking way behind on shit, bro. I ain't versed to speak on it. Richard Garcia, schoolboy, what's going on, man? Shit, send Garcia the link, man. If you want to get up here and cook, man, we having a relaxed Saturday
All right.
evening cook up.
Yeah, I'll send it to you
Martin,
right now, OG.
Martinez Game Dogs, Jacob Bonner, Paris Jackson. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, man, this that relaxed cook up this one here, man. I'm gonna try and get one in next week as well. I'm trying to catch all the questions. I'm dedicating this one back.
They talking about that old Nicodemus stuff, that Bujo stuff.
Yeah, that's what he talking about. You know all of them fucking pads. You heard anybody running that?
Hell no. Nah.
Thanks for the build up.
That people that got that though. The dog was bred.
Kid Manila, Pitbull TV said if a pit bull is aggressive as a puppy, put it down. I agree. Shit, what's your cookup on that? What's your cookup on that? Yeah.
You a cold motherfucker if you putting a puppy down.
Yeah,
you kind of a piece of shit if you putting a puppy down. That's a fucking puppy. That's a baby. Fucking asshole. That's what I think. Should kick him in his balls or they pussy. I'm an equal opportunist fucking groin kicker.
boy. Kendrick, what you feel about what the fuck you feel about if a puppy shows aggressiveness as a puppy, it should be put down. You agree with that?
I disagree. I highly disagree.
You know, shit, these old pit bull, not even old pit bull, but man, that type of discussion be
It
coming
don't
up
matter
regarding
who
the
said
pit
it.
bull.
You said you agree with the shit, so you need to get kicked in your shit too. That's a fucking puppy. That's like
He
if
said he
the
an equal
fucking baby is
opportunist.
always crying, you ain't gonna put it down. You fucking piece
I
of
was just
shit.
about to say that. I was thinking to
Fuck
myself,
out
I'm
of
like,
here,
damn,
dude. Fucking troll.
that's something that is you could teach one. You can that come with spending time with it. Correction. So I disagree.
Yeah, but Buck, you had a little puppy and shit showed a certain level of aggression. Would you just cull it?
I don't give a fuck what race he is. Both of y'all need to get kicked in y'all shit. Him for saying it and you for saying you agree with it. That shit ain't gonna change my stance on that shit. And it's still black power to the last hour. You just a piece of shit to me now.
Out of all my dogs I ever had in my whole entire life, there's only been one puppy that I even thought about it. Not like, oh, I'm about to do this, but just like, should I do this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, bro, listen. The only way that this is going down, far as like we gotta determine an age here. Is we talking 10-month-old puppy? We got good grown teeth. It's trying to kill me, bite me, aggressive, or are we talking 5-month-old, 6-month-old? What type of puppy are we talking about?
barking at you in the chain spot. That's different,
Because listen, I had Sandman. He didn't like nobody but me, not even my kids, bro. So he couldn't be here. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's where the responsibility part comes in. Cause I had dogs like that before I had kids, and I would fucking train them to not do that. And if they did that to other motherfuckers, I would tell them, "Hey, don't go by him. He gonna grab you." Any self-respecting dog man yard you go to, he gonna have one on there like it, and he gonna tell you that motherfucker only fuck with people in the house, man. Just look at him from over here. You feel me? But this his son right here look just like him. You could pet this nigga. He love people.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
What's
Nah,
going on, Mr. Garcia? Schoolboy in the building,
Salute,
man.
OG.
What's happening, Mr. Thompson? What's happening, Ram, and everybody else on the panel? How you guys doing?
What up?
Pretty good.
What's happening?
Good show. Good show. Good show. All good here. Found some time to join in. It's a good show, man. Got a lot of good topics.
Man, we just cooking up, man. I was gonna do some old write down a couple of subject topics. I said, man, I just want to shoot off the hip for once, man. Answer some questions for the chat. We
Yep.
do our little
Yeah.
cook up, laugh, joking trip type of thing, man. But we over here
Yeah, I do
talking
that.
about. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I do that with a lot of my videos just off the top of my head from my memory just to keep my shit together, make sure I'm not going senile.
Man, shit, it's happening to the best of us, boy. I done walked around the
Yeah.
backyard 4 times looking for the rake. I said, God damn, man, what did I take down there? But shit, we was just cooking on the subject is if a puppy showed a level of aggression, a pit bull puppy shows a level of aggression, you should just immediately cull it. That was the topic we
Aggre-
were talking about.
yeah, aggression towards what?
People, I'm assuming, because if you cull it because it loves dogs, I don't think you really should have had a pit bull. But I
There you
think
go.
people, we're going with fucking people. So
You got to make that distinction. Well, a lot of
Kid
pups
Manila
are,
had this question.
I had some bully some ones that were like, I had one, he was that way when he was little, and we broke him of that. He didn't bite anybody when he was big. For me, whatever their temperament behavior is, I gave them time to see if they, as adults, they would do that or not. I'll be the first one to say an adult dog that's human aggressive, I wouldn't keep it. I don't have no patience for it. I had them, and I learned how to handle them. I learned to read the signs and all that. But a pup, not so much.
All right, shit. I want to preface this conversation. What is the age the consensus of what is the age of an adult dog? Because we seem to go back and forth because we do hard testing at 14, 15 months.
Adult after a year old, that's when they're reaching adulthood. That's when they're pretty much set in how they're going to be, fully adult, mature, 2-3 years old. But adult, as far as, they're pretty much the size they're going to be, unless they have a growth spurt. They're pretty much set in their ways, how they're going to act, and like that. So you could use that. You could wait year and a half. But if a pup is human aggressive and you can't break them of it and continues, at a year old, he's going to either do it or he ain't going to do it, and it's just up to the person whether they want to tolerate it or not, or they know how to work with it. Like Ram was saying, some people actually like them, and some people, I speak from my point of view because I had family, I had kids. Some dog guys don't have no family, no kids, and they preferred those type of dogs, at least some of them, because they ain't gonna get stolen. Somebody ain't just gonna walk on your yard and steal them.
That's why we had them. But when I had my first kid, we started getting rid of them motherfuckers, man. Cause I don't want my kid to just open the door, go out there and trying to play with you, and you not the you played with. So when I was a single young man, hell yeah, kid free. Give me all them goddamn man biters. Cause I'm gonna show them how to not bite me. But if you jump back here trying to steal them, they gonna for sure bite the shit out you.
Mm-hmm. Like Bully Son and Eli Jr. Bully Son was human aggressive. That what Ram mentioned about the 2x4, the shovel, that's true. That happened with Floyd Boudreaux. He backed a trailer up near Bully Son, and he went to biting his tires and that. And he took a shovel or 2x4, knocked him in the head to get him to stop.
Yeah, Floyd had the 2x4. Bobby had the shovel.
Yeah, well, Bobby got bit on the chin. He had a scar on his chin where Bully Son bit him. Bully Son never got stolen, and that's probably the reason why. One of the reasons why. Eli Jr., who wasn't like that, and they litter mate, he got stolen, and he wasn't a man biter. Bully Son was. His son Stomper play with kids, man. He was good with people, never bit nobody. So it just depended on dogs. Certain bloodlines or family of dogs are more prone to it. But no, don't ever think you can. Two things. You can have good dogs without having that man biting trait. And a lot of people in the past used to say a man biter's a cur. That ain't true either. There's been plenty of man biters that were game. So it's not. It's the individual dog, and sometimes the bloodline helps it a little bit, and you can weed it out. I know somebody has heavily inbred bully son dogs, and I know other people that had lion bred and like that. They never bit nobody because those individuals were cold. I know some that have them. They get them every once in a while. They tolerate them. They just care if the dog's good. They don't care, whether you're gonna bite somebody because nobody don't come around them anyways. So it's a trait. It can come out in any bloodline. It's just like with bully son dogs or alligator dogs or Jocko dogs. They're more prone to do it.
Man, shit, I didn't even think about it from that aspect in general until just now, because that could have been some people's mindsets as well. Shit, if you don't have any kids or you ain't got nothing going on, and
Yeah,
you're worried about your dogs being stolen, that may be a trait that you may been silently promoting. Like, hey, you ain't gonna come over here and steal my shit. So
yeah. I know a couple of guys that they kept them, and that was one of the reasons why. They had to be good dogs too. But that was one of the reasons why. They go to work, they're gone all day, they don't have no family, dogs are there alone, and they don't have to worry about somebody coming on the yard taking their dogs.
Yep.
yeah.
Or old dog shit was
Yeah,
like
now
that.
there's
That's
levels.
that Jocko
There's
in them.
levels to aggression.
Will produce that man biting trait through that Jocko and shit. After
Yeah.
having a couple dogs stolen, we start keeping them aggressive motherfuckers and just start putting them
Yeah.
in between each dog that wasn't like that. So you
Yeah.
got a 50-50 chance of getting your shit bit the fuck up.
Depending on which
Human
dog you're
aggression
looking.
is human aggression, but I think there's levels because if
There's
Well,
you're just
different.
yeah.
There's
out,
definitely different types. Even
you're telling the
dogs like
guard
mine
that,
that didn't bite. Right. They knew who belonged on the yard and who didn't. And
right.
when we were there home, anybody could come on there and pet any one of my fucking dogs. But if no one was home, they acted a little funny. Or if you was drunk around them, especially Bill, he didn't like it, man. He would act weird. Like, keep the fuck away from me. He didn't like drunk people,
I don't
So
either.
there's
Me and Bill would have
yeah,
been best of friends.
yeah, he'd have loved you, So there's different reasons why they bite. A lot of the bolio dogs, they bite so you let them go. They bite because they get wound up, But there's a difference in my mind, anyways, between a man biter and a man eater. Man eater will bite you for any reason, no reason. They attack you like you another animal, and they mean to hurt you. They're
Yeah, like
very
Zebo.
fucking dangerous. Like Zebo, like Bully Son, like some of the Bully Son dogs I had. They ain't playing around, man. It ain't fighting you over food or a bitch or their area. They just don't like what you're doing, or they just bow up, they nut up, or whatever the fuck it is for whatever reason, and they attack you. And they're going to kill you if you don't know how to, deal with that situation. You got, I stress this sometimes too, whatever animal you got, and you guys kind of hinted on it earlier, whether it's a dog, a horse, a cat, or whatever, pigs, whatever. If you cannot physically control them, you shouldn't have them. And it may mean you have to have something in your hand to do that, right? But if you can't physically control them, you got, even with horses, man, there's a way to handle horses that are aggressive or kind of high-spirited, Horses will bite you, they'll step on you, they'll kick you, So you got to be able to deal with that, and you got to know how to deal with it, But with pit bulls, man, physically means you got to grab them, you got to snatch them up, and you got to hold them and redirect them or get them away from that area, or put them throw them in a kennel, or, till they settle down, whatever it is. It's physical. It ain't, voice commands and, different stuff, man. They go off. But that is very, very, very few. I want to stress that too. It's maybe 1/10 of 1% that are like that, And it depends on the situation. There's sometimes Zebo wouldn't bite nobody. He'd be sitting there with them. He's cool. Other times he'd bow up and he'd go after you. It could be over any little thing or nothing. It seems like nothing, but it's something that triggers him. But yeah, there's all kinds of different levels.
It got to be a trigger because the stories on him is like the same. I cracked him upside the head, and then he came back to reality. It's like, what I mean? That's so
Yeah,
weird to
yeah,
me in general. You
It's
know what
like
I
that
mean?
one homie
yeah,
that'll try you. If you let him
yeah,
punk you, he gonna punk you. But if you get on his
yeah,
ass, he gonna be
yeah.
cool with you.
It could, yeah, it could be a form of psychosis. Who knows? You know, I don't psychoanalyze dogs that way, and I'm not a dog whisperer or a dog psychologist. But you know, I had one. He was 55 pounds, right? And if you could take him off the chain, walk him. Let's say you wanted to go this way. If he wanted to go that way, if you tried to make him go the way you wanted to, he'd turn around, jump up, and bite you in the chest. He did that with me. You know, you could take him off the chain. He was fine. And this dog would play with kittens and puppies, and they could eat out of his bowl. He never hurt a kid, never showed any of that kind of aggression towards kids, just adults. And off the chain, he was fine like that. You put him on the chain, he's going to eat your ass. He didn't want to go back on the chain. He's going to turn on you and he's going to fuck you up. Man. And he got me one time like that. My wife helped a little bit.
As much as she possibly could against a big ass dog like that.
Yeah, exactly. He grabbed me by the arm, and he wasn't really biting down, but he was pissed, and he kind of, snapped, and his tooth got hung up in my skin and was pulling the skin like that, wah like that, right? So I said, Angie, he's biting me. She turned around, took the fuck off, went inside. She came out with a towel and put a towel over his head, and then I kind of faced him towards the door, and he walked inside the house. He loved being inside, so he just stopped, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, man. Just from one situation to the other, he stopped. I walk him inside. And then afterwards, I tell her, when I said he's biting me, why'd you go inside? She goes, I didn't want him to bite me too. Shit.
It don't make sense for both of us to get big.
You the dog man, do your thing,
Hell yeah. I got you on the tail support.
Yeah.
Shit is never the same after that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I know you looked at him out the corner of your eye.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have some resolve too. If you're scared, they could sense it. If you mad, they know it. If you confrontational, they feel it. So it's hard not to be scared around animals like that, but it's like anything else. If you're scared of heights, get up on a fucking building, and then eventually you won't be scared. If you're around them type of dogs and you fuck with them and you know them, eventually you ain't gonna be scared of them. When they bow up, you just deal with the situation, you handle it, So there's a lot to it, and like but instead there's different levels to it and reasons why and all that. The main thing is learning how to deal with the situation, how to deal with particular individuals. What are you gonna do about it?
They'll show you ones that's like that when you first come to the yard. Like they'll show you when you finna feed them or clean up or whatever. They'll let you know what type of mood they in if you know they like that.
Yeah. And when they're little like that, sometimes a heavy hand helps. At least with you or whoever's going to be around them. They may bite somebody else, but they won't bite you because they know, like Ram said earlier, you the alpha. You gotta be in control, and the animals have to know that. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not raised with animals, particularly dogs, so they don't really know dogs. They don't really know animals. They don't have that intrinsic understanding. And you can learn that along the way, but it helps when you do it from when you're little. That was a benefit I had. I was raised with all kinds of animals, so you learn to read them and know their behaviors and shit.
We got to talk about the heavy hand myth and how the tree huggers are. I mean, I guess everybody can just stay there and scream no as the dog is attacking you or biting you and stuff.
Right. Right. Well, they I would guess that most of them ain't never been in that type of situation. They're not around those high-strung, high-performance, energy-filled, high-spirited type of animals. They ain't. And if they are and they had an accident, they ain't going to tell nobody. They ain't going to say this dog bit me because I did something or this or that or whatever. A horse stepped on my foot. They treat them all like children or whatever, So they don't have that concept. They don't understand that that's needed sometimes, You can have all kinds of programs, and they show these people how they handle animals, and they pet them, and horse whisper, dog whispers. That there's people like that, but not every animal is the same. And like I said, with horses, man, if you can't get in their head that you're the master, They'll walk all over you. They'll kick you. They'll step on you. Do whatever. They'll bite you, man. There's man biting horses too.
Hell
I see
yeah,
one
my
guy
horse will
get
bite
bit.
the shit out your ass, man. I need
I
to go
I
get some
seen.
hay for that motherfucker too, man. I know my
Yeah,
cousin mad at
yeah.
me. I'm gonna
And
just
what
cash out on some bread.
what helps too is handling them all the time, getting them used to you fucking with them in every situation, touching them everywhere you want, on their toes, inside their ear,
When
pull
they're
their
eating,
tail, do
all of that shit. Like,
all that
I
shit.
make it a point to reach my hand in every dog I
Yeah.
feed bowl. Boop.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some of that,
Mm-hmm.
homie. Food check. You better not look up from eating this motherfucker. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the whole bowl. God damn it.
Exactly. I'm the one that feeds you, and they understand. They'll understand at least that much. With horses, we used to, when they were colts, we'd handle them all the time, touch them everywhere. And they start getting bigger. You walk behind them, you pat them on the ass, you brush their tail, you walk underneath them, in, out, whatever. Open their mouth, look at their teeth, all that shit. And that's
Yep.
what you have to do with your dogs.
There's some badass
You know?
wild colts out here by my brother's land. I want to catch one. They sending
Yeah,
motherfuckers to the feds for that shit now.
they're
'Cause we
probably
was
more
talking,
there than almost any state. They still have
we
wild
brought up
Mustangs out there, man.
we had brought up Caesar, homie
Yeah.
Caesar Milan
Yeah.
with the Cup the Swiss
Yeah.
dude. But we was talking about it. He was giving them a swift kick and shit. You know what I mean? Talking
Yeah.
about he was getting their attention and shit. Because I
Mhm.
think that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand with these dogs here. You gotta catch them in the moment, even with like young puppies that they may get too mouthy and they
Yeah.
putting their teeth on
Right.
you the wrong way. Quick pop,
Yep.
But people, the tree huggers is like, oh God, you abuse it. Nobody's saying abusing your dog, but you gotta draw boundaries with these dogs.
Yeah, because they're
I
not
think we,
Exactly.
people. As much as we like to
Yeah.
anthropomorphize them, they're not fucking people, man. They're
Mhm.
mammals, yes. They have feelings, yes, all
Yeah.
that, but they're
Yep.
not people. The
They
smartest
have all
dog
them
will be no
instincts.
smarter than your 4-year-old child is. Like, come on,
Right.
man.
Right. Yeah. They have particular instincts about them, and one of the ways they communicate, because they're canines and they're predators, is with their mouth. They got teeth. That's what they do. That's what they use. So you got to be familiar with them, and sometimes it does take a heavy hand. And I say this all the time: with a pit bull, having a heavy hand ain't gonna change them. It don't mean shit to them. They ain't gonna be scared of you, and they ain't gonna not love you, and all that shit.
No, it's more
That's
of
a
like
myth.
a disappointment thing with the dog. They're like, fuck, man, I disappointed the big homie type shit,
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll hurt your
Like
head
that.
trying to slap the shit
Yeah.
out of pit bull. I know that from experience.
Hell yeah. Or punching them and shit. You'll break their
fuck your
hand on
shit
their
up,
head.
bro.
Yeah.
So it's not like you hurting them. They'll look
Yeah.
at you more of, oh shit, my bad, man. You
Yeah.
know,
So
like
we didn't let, for instance, I didn't let the kids, how they bite your feet or tennies or pants and all that shit. I didn't let them do that. I didn't let them chase the kids, because that's going to bring something out of them where they might hurt the kid biting them. There's a lot of shit I didn't do with the pups, allow them to do, because I didn't want it to become a problem later when they grow as adults. So a lot of the things I see online and all that, I wouldn't do that shit. I wouldn't let them be fucking up my pants and shit. Fuck that. I paid fucking $19.99 for them motherfuckers to let you chew them, and
man, my
chasing the
homeboy
kids
had a
down and
whole
all
litter
that.
of piranhas like that, man. I used to
Yeah.
be over there kicking the shit out them motherfuckers. He
Yeah.
had never put
Yeah.
them up. He used to think the shit
Yeah.
was funny till I fucking fell on one of them one day. Like, yeah, bitch,
Mhm.
I bet you next time I come over, they be put up.
Hard lesson, but learned. That's just certain things. Like you said, you got to have boundaries. How do you want to raise your dogs? What kind of dogs you want to have? What kind of mental attitude you want them to have? How much can you teach them? What can they learn? How intelligent are they? All that's involved. So all this time we talk about spending with the dog, that's all part of it. It's not just the physical stuff. It's not just watching their stool and watching how they piss, checking ear mites and fleas and all that. It's inside their head. Once you get inside their head and you understand them, you go a lot smoother, man. And then you make the type of dogs you want. They behave how you want them to behave. I got a buddy who when he had dogs, dogs, when you go out to feed them, they bark and holler and all that. Every one of his dogs was quiet, because he taught them from puppies to be quiet. So he go get the feed pans, Get each dog, you talking about 60 dogs. His whole fucking yard is quiet. Nobody barking. If somebody bowed up a little bit, he'd call their name. He'd go, hey, Jojo, like that. And the dog would shut up because that's the way he raised them. Didn't have a lot of hollering and all that stuff. So there's a lot to it. And like I said, what kind of dogs you want? How do you raise them? Just what it is.
The attention to detail. The attention to detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, we get a good little show cooking up in here tonight. Well, we were also talking about. We got to the daily exercise part. What do you think is a normal amount of daily exercise a pit bull should get daily? Or what do you recommend?
Well,
I said it varies on temperament.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there's any standard of, like the guys gave some examples. They're all good examples. Depends on the dog, but really it depends on you. How much time do you have? And like Ram was saying, if you got 4 dogs, just cleaning them up, raking their area, feeding them water and all that. If you spend 15 minutes a day with 4 dogs, that's an hour. You got 8 dogs, that's 2 hours. You got 12 dogs, that's 3 hours. And you ain't doing shit with them. So you got that time factor. When I hear all these people say, oh, I do this and I do that, most of the time it's bullshit. They may do it once a week. They may do it every so often, 2 days a week or whatever. So it depends on how much time you have and how many dogs you have. But, us, we give regular exercise, maybe 3, maybe 4 days a week, each dog, right? And I had help. I had my wife, I had kids and myself, like that. It just, and like Ram said, or somebody said, they're on the chain. So if they're active, I think you said it.
Yeah.
Damn. So a lot of it, they're yeah, Thompson. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. See, my mind's going, man. Catch all this info now. In a few years, I'm gonna be babbling and shit. Forget my own fucking name.
Man. God bless you, brother.
Yeah. So a lot of it is, do something on the chain. I used to go around and flirt pole them on the chain just for a few minutes. I teach them my keep from when they were 8 years old, how I want them to work, what I want. 8 weeks old, how I want them to work, what I want them to do. So when they become adult, they just do it. In between that, I did the tug of war. I did spring pole a little, but I like tug of war better, because all 4 feet are on the ground and they pulling against someone else, or I do it inside the box just so they get familiar with the box. I'd be tug of war with them in the box. I like spring pole a lot, road work. You could do some hand walking, it don't have to be all the time, but it's just regular type exercise. And sometimes I just tell the kids, go out there and play around the dogs. So when the kids are doing that, all of them jumping around, they get some attention here and they go there. So they could be out there for an hour. They could be out there for 2 hours, hand walking a little bit, and again, if you hand walk them, 2 miles, that's about the speed is 3 to 5 miles an hour. So 5 minutes per mile or 10 minutes per mile, whatever it comes out to, So a mile, couple of miles or 3 miles might take you 20, 25 minutes, And like I said, there ain't enough time in the day to do a lot. So, using a treadmill, I would practice, if you ever think of conditioning your dog, I would practice that method from when they're young. So the way I did it is I take my dog out before the workout, take them out, empty them out, take that's about half a mile, right? Down to the stop sign, quarter mile, come back. By that time, they're warmed up, emptied out. And then I do some exercise. And I would try and repeat that process if you ever think about conditioning your dog, because it gets them into the mindset of, I'm going to empty out, then I'm going to go to work. I'm going to empty out, go to work. Then after you're done, after the workout, like Ram said, after the workout's completely over, then you do your rub down. Don't give them no water, until after the rub down. And then, put them up, give them some water if they want it. A lot of times they won't even drink it. They don't need it. And then you feed them. So I would just emulate that or simulate that, and whatever
How
you
do you
want to
feel
do.
about the carpet mills?
Well, I've never
We
used
talked
one,
about
but
the carpet mills, and I own
yeah,
one. I thought it was
yeah,
just really extreme work, and
yeah.
it
It
felt like I
depends.
was counterproductive based
Well,
on the mill that I had.
yeah, that's what you're basing it on. So every piece of equipment, or however you try and do whatever you're doing, whatever you use, it's all dependent on your knowledge and experience of using it, what's available, and how much time you have to do it. So you can make a carpet mill work, you can make a slat mill work, you can make spring pull, all that stuff. You know, it just depends on what type of mill. And like the other gentleman was saying, my buddy had one with the handbrake on it and all that, and you can adjust it. So you can loosen it up. It's free turning. You tighten it up. There's more drag on it. There's your strength. So he did everything as far as, cardio and strength work and all on one mill. You know,
Mm.
the carpet mill, some of them, like Ram was saying, they run smooth. Jimmy Spain had a nice one, and the Colby mill too. But most of them, it's just a matter. I forget what they used to spray under. My buddy used to spray so it would turn freer, And then I had another friend, and the hubs on his were roller skate hubs. That's how hard that mill was to pull, and he had it at a 45-degree angle. It was a hard turning mill, and he basically used it to see what kind of condition his dog was in. So, early in the keep, he'd see where they're at. Halfway through the keep, he'd see where they're at. Towards the end of the keep, he'd see where they're at, as far as that meal goes. So early on, they're not going to run it that much. It'd kill them, it'd burn them out. Halfway through, you see improvement. At the end, you see the best, like that. That meal, man, was a killer, man. I've seen other people bring their dogs to his house that they're putting in shape. They couldn't do 10 minutes on that meal. Because it was so hard pulling, and the conditioning of the individual wasn't that good, So it's just a matter of how you apply it, what you're using. Because I get asked all the time, what's the best? There ain't no best. Ain't no best feed. There ain't no best workout. There ain't no best machine. It's how you use it, how you apply it, your experience with it, and your knowledge with it. And, the concepts of conditioning don't change. So if you got that down, you're familiar with dogs, your particular dog, how he works, where the wall is for him, or what it takes for him to catch his wind and all that stuff. Then you adjust your keep that way. Some dog may get on that slat mill and run 100 miles an hour. You can't do that for an hour. You'll kill them. I don't care what anybody says. You can't do that for 30 minutes. You'll kill them. Even though you don't think so, and the dog will do it, you're going to kill him. Where if he trots it, shit, you could have him on there for an hour. It just depends on how the dog works, whatever it is you're using. Some dogs hit a spring pole and they tug it and they play with it and they pull. Some dogs hit it and they're violent. They shit the shit out of it, man. So that's a harder workout. Some dogs chase the flirt pole 100 miles an hour. So I wouldn't do that too long with them. Where some just kind of, they follow it, and it's not that fast and they hit their pace like that. So you can do the flirt pole longer with that dog. That's the key to conditioning, is knowing how to condition. And so there's a ton of different ways. That's why I say there's no best. Same with the feed. Whatever works for you, feed them that. If you like it, you see good results, stick with it.
Martinez Game Dogs in the chat. He said he was spraying silicone on his. I want to see what the different boards I want to see what the different boards is underneath. Is somebody using fiberglass, or is it all wood? I'm gonna actually do some research on some carpet mills.
Yeah, that's good. I've seen both. I've seen the fiberglass and wood. The fiberglass, when you spray that silicone, they use some other stuff too. I forgot what it was called. Like what you use to loosen up a door, a lock on a door where you stick the key in, graphite or something. I've seen people use that. Yeah, but it's just that because of the surface of the underneath the carpet and the surface that it's on, it has that buildup of dirt and sludge or whatever it is, and that's when it starts becoming harder to pull. That's why they would use the graphite or they use the silicone, whatever. So it's more free turning, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, there's guys that use nothing but slat. There's guys that use nothing but mill, but carpet. There's guys that use both. There's guys that use all three: carpet, slat, and email. So you know, it's just a matter of learning how to do it.
I should have kicked out the extra change for the handbrake. Kendrick, I hate you. That'd have been 2
It
meals
works
in one.
good. I never thought of it because they had them early on. You know, there was a lot of guys that did that, but I thought, you know, what do you need a brake for? But you know, like my friend told me, hey, Rich, I only need that one thing. I do some hand walking, and maybe you know, that was it. Just hand walking, you know, and his carpet mill or slat mill with the handbrake.
Yeah, I'll show you how to put a handbrake on it because I put one on my old Chandler mill.
Yeah, we're
There you
good, man. Good thing I know a
But-
transmission fluid changing motherfucker too, man. Both of y'all car rigging motherfuckers, man. Thank y'all very much, man.
Shit, you can go on there and just call Dog Trotter themselves, bro, and they'll send you the kit for it.
It's just something you add on to the joint. It ain't no different because your shit is fancy. You got the fiberglass side. You can see through the shit and shit while the dog's running
Yeah.
and shit. All type of fly shit.
Well, he had
Oh, yeah, I
he had a
forgot
good
about that.
girlfriend. He had a good
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah. Somebody loved that motherfucker out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, this shit is built aerodynamic and shit.
All that, you know. So
Hell yeah, we could hope to
Yeah.
find one like that someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And
looking
then
at
they
my
put
wife
speedometers
say
on them
that,
Thinking
too.
about it.
giving her the wink wink.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want the one with the hydraulic pump on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Angie would do that for me too. She'd buy me one of those if I wanted, but then I'd have to buy her a new fucking house. That's the way she trades. Yeah, I'll get you that $2,000 meal, but you got to buy me $150,000 home.
See, I'm up to. I did that in the car in the same year, so I
There
should
you
be
go.
good for Father's Day
You're
for the
you're good.
deluxe.
You're good.
My
Yeah, you're
credit
gonna
should
get
be
your
good enough to front me
yeah
that.
yeah like that.
You can front me the
So
$7,000 meal.
mhm.
We got enough space to put it. I made
Yeah.
sure of
Yeah.
that.
I done seen them
Yeah.
shits with hydraulic shocks and all kind of shit, man.
Yeah, that's
You
the
Yeah.
can
one
hit a
I
button
want.
and make
It got the little
yeah.
pump on it, so you could put the angle. Yeah, that bitch by 7G.
Yeah, got the speedometer and all that.
Yup.
Man, shit. I wanted a Jenny, man. Dog. I looked at the dog trotter Jenny, man, but they wanted 35. That ain't crazy, but they wanted 35. I really want to make one, but I gotta get me a nice little welding rig, man, because I got
Yeah.
plenty of car axles and shit.
Yeah.
I could
Hell
really make
yeah.
one.
Let me know when you're ready. I got you on that too. You know, we had all that shit, bro. I love the Jenny. Just ain't got the space for one. So yeah, they easy to make too.
I never was able to condition on one. Y'all got what's y'all input on the Jenny and what y'all think of about it? Because I only had two partners that had one.
There's a keep for that. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
got you.
Mr. Gray used it. Steve Hendricks used it. Danny Burton used it. Ton of people used it. You know, Don Mayfield, of course, and his was long. It was like 30 feet long or some shit. When I visited him, he still had it was all rusted lying on the ground, but it was long as fuck. And the circumference, you know, where he used to run them, that was still in the ground. You know, the grass had grown over it, but it was still that form in the ground for his. It went shit long with it. So it's like anything else. Learn how to use it. You know, prepare the ground and
You for
know,
sure want to put a brake on that, because then that motherfucker get going. It's hard for that shit to stop
Yeah.
if the dog get tangled up or
Yeah.
caught up or just anything. You want to be able to stop it because the momentum will drag your shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
And
I
then
was
you got to
looking at
switch
one of
sides. You know.
1950 Klansman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
he
got
was
to run
packing
them
hay down in
one
the
way
track.
on one. Yeah. You got to run them one way one day, and next day you run them the opposite direction because they'll get muscle heavy on one side, not the other. You know, different things. They do all kinds of stuff. You know, some shorter, some longer. Some. It depends on how much room you have, and then you just got to familiarize yourself with it. You know, so. People use tables. They use shit. I ran mine on a bike. Some people run them next to a car. They use an ATV and drag weights, wear weights. Any kind of thing you could think of. But
I
it's
don't
just a matter
recommend
of
a bike
practice.
for anybody.
Oh yeah, you
No,
had some disasters.
you gotta know what you're doing. Yeah, I got
Hobie
I got
Kennedy had some disasters
bro.
on the bike, B.
Yeah, I got
Bro, I
dumped. I
tried
got
that
dumped
shit
one time.
twice.
Yeah, yeah. Because what happens is they have a potential to bolt in front of you, on the side, whatever. If they see something, right? So
Bro, that
my thing was
motherfucker
after
saw
I
that
got
shit, the bike gone.
after I got dumped that one time, I just told myself, well, if he does that, all I did was jump off the bike. Whichever way they were going, I'd jump off the bike and drop it, and then pull to a stop like that and get back on the bike like that. So I only got dumped one time, but like anything else, it's practice how to do it, all that. If you ain't wary, if you ain't paying attention all the time, people get distracted. That's why sometimes you'll see them walking a dog and the dog gets away from them. You see the dog running with a fucking lead, any kind of dog. They ain't paying attention to the dog. So anytime, whether I was conditioning a dog, whether I was handling a dog, whether I was refereeing, my focus is on the dog or the dogs. Everything else I put out of focus, man. I don't even pay attention to. I can hear you. I don't have to look at you to see you, to talk to you. So even when I'm a bike, in the bike, you have that vision where you can see ahead of you. You know where you're going. I have my route, but I'm watching the dog. See when he's going to bolt. See if he saw that rabbit. See if this or that. And like I said, I just jump off, man. But they will, if you ain't, you could get hurt, man. I thought I broke my shoulder. Shit. Yeah.
Bike conditioning. There's so many. That's why I'm really getting into this conditioning thing. I've been trying to do my research and get all this information from all you brothers, man, as far as it. And everybody got so many different tweaks
Mm-mm.
to it, man. It's just mind blowing
Man,
in the results
yeah,
people get.
you think of it, something Mr. Leander Daigle told me, he would, people use a spring pole, right? Well, what he did is he set up a pulley connected to a tree limb, right? Then he run the rope through it or whatever he run through it. And then he'd bring the dog up and the dog would grab it. But unlike a spring pole, he could loosen it up. He could pull it. He could maneuver the dog around, and it had so much give to it where the dog's was basically level, right? He wasn't up pulling like that, towards the tree. Sometimes he was, but he'd let the rope go through the pulley and the dog would pull it till he was flat, and then the dog would shake and move around and all that stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Chase a ball, go swimming, climb a tree, jump through hoops, whatever the fuck you want to teach them, they'll do it, if they have a mind to.
Hell yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I used to make this shit called a power pole that was kind of like that, where it would put the dog more at the level where he would be competing at,
Right.
But he would still get a good workout. I might bring that back out and start selling that shit now, man.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, let's cook. Well, let's cook up on the spring pole action in the best forms of it, as far as the condition. Not the best, but let's educate on how you maximize the amount of muscle work, because I'm hearing 4 feet on the ground. You got brothers that do 2 feet. You got some brothers that just do.
Depend on what muscle you trying to work. Because
Right.
you look at a dog when he's working, you'll see those muscles starting to flex when he's doing different exercises. So if you want to get like those two nice back muscles going alongside his spine on each side, you want them to be more standing up, boom, because that's putting more stress for him to keep his back up straight like that, so he could keep hold on the goddamn whatever you is using for hide, towel, whatever, But if you want,
most people will say, don't do them with 4 feet off the ground. Why? Oh, they could fall down and hurt themselves. Well, there's a way to teach them to do that. You don't just put it 10 feet in there and have the dog jump for it because he's not used to it. It's going to slip out. He's going to let go.
Yeah,
if you might know how to land
6 inches off the ground.
That's how you do it. You start off with 4 feet first. Let them get familiar with it. Then you work up to 2 feet off the ground. Let them get familiar with it. Then you raise it just a little bit, or a few inches. They're off the ground a few inches, and they may bob, and they can still feel the ground. And then you raise it higher and higher like that, and you won't have a problem with it. I've had friends that they have a spring pole at each dog's tie out. 10, 11-year-old dog, they still work it because they were taught how to do it and never had an injury. So it's just like anything else. They got to be familiar. You got to teach them how to do it. It's like driving a car. You ain't just going to get in the car just because you saw somebody drive and get in there and now you know how to drive.
And now you Mario Andretti and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
So you do the same thing. Yeah, you do the same thing with any equipment. That's why, whatever I was doing, even puppies on a mill, I'd put them on there for a minute, 2 or 3 days a week. That's it. Just so they wouldn't be scared of the noise or being off the ground. They're familiar with it. They're not scared of the mill itself, and just a minute like that. Okay, they're good. Put them up. Do that with every pup. Boom. Depending on the size of the litter, you may be there 10 minutes doing that, or 15 minutes. That's it. And you got the whole litter done, So you do that and then increase it as they get older.
Shout out to JB. That's a question of his, because it's been like a consensus. I've been hearing this about the spring poles and people saying, oh, you shouldn't work it this way or work it that way. Because I've done it all 3 ways. I still get the same embers. As long as I get my heart rate up to where I want it to be on them, I'm good. I don't care how you get it, how the fuck you getting it. But people have been kind of saying, oh, it's not this way or that way, or it should be this way. It's kind of, I guess, from what you guys are saying, consensus wise, depends on what muscles you're trying to work.
Yeah, because if you want to work,
that's what it is. It's different.
Those hip muscles, those look like little tennis balls right there. Then 4 feet on the ground, because you're gonna work his upper shoulder muscles, his neck muscle, all of that. So it just pay attention to the dog when he actually working, and you'll see, bro. It's that easy, and that's the beauty of the game. That's how conditioning programs are developed, is from men studying the dogs and getting us to where we at today. It's up to us to take it to the scientific level and push it even further forward now, because we got all the science we need, all the tools we need. So, just get out there and pay attention to the dog. When you walking him, look what muscles he uses, what muscles is developed most from his walking.
Yeah. Most people that say, don't do this or don't do that, generally it's because they ain't never done it. They don't know how to do it, or they did it and they had an accident with it, because of improper training. And it could be maybe that dog ain't good for that type of work. But it's like anything else. You got to do it. You got to try it. You got to practice it. You got to see the flaws in it. You got to see the benefits. And if the benefits outweigh the flaws, then you might want to continue with that, whatever it is you're doing, but you got to do it right. I see people all the time, dogs frothing at the mouth, and they laid out, they're blowed out, and they're laid out. That ain't how you condition a dog. You don't push them that hard where they can't even stand up. I seen one guy, he did a dog like that. He's rubbing the dog down where the dog's laying on its side. Like, what kind of shit is that? Common sense to tell you, but a lot of people don't have that. So, it just, like I said, practice, trial and error, and you'll see the benefits of it.
You were talking about also the weight collars. Did you use the weight collars? Did you like them? Well,
no, I never used them on my dogs, but I used to use them on myself when I trained. I had weights on my ankles and on my wrists. It has the benefit. This is what I notice the most. When you do that, you do your workout, you're punching or kicking or whatever you're doing. When you take them off, man, you feel like Superman. You fast, because it's like punching underwater, like Ali used to do. That's where his speed came from, because you ain't punching that fast underwater, but there's that resistance to it. So when you out of the water or you take them weights off, it increases your speed. So I see the benefits of it,
Yep. I think we talked about that on our show a few weeks back. Because that's exactly why I would use it. It was for for strength, but to help with the speed of the dog. He could get to hold a little bit faster.
Yeah. But I would say this. I think you would be better off using sand as the weight than having metal weights in there. Because as the dog's moving and he's working and this and that, that stuff is going to bang around. Maybe not his neck, but the harness, and that metal is going to be hitting his body. So you could bruise them, you could make them sore, whatever. I would have a softer material where it doesn't hurt them if it's banging around while they're running and like that. All that you have to take into consideration. Sometimes on a dog you can't see the bruising, and sometimes it's just visible. You can see it. So it depends on what kind of harness you use. Depends on what weights you're using. If it was me
I like
today,
that.
I'd put sand instead of the metal pieces of metal in there.
I like that one that O'Brien's had. They use metal. It's like little tiny metal beads, and it's almost the
Hmm.
resemblance of sand. And they got a nice little
Like that. There you go. See,
yeah, because
innovation.
even when they sweat, even when it sweats, oh, not sweat, but if it gets wet by any means or anything, it dries out. It's a real nice weighted collar. Because I seen the ones
Yeah,
with the plates that you're talking about, the interchangeable plates, and
yeah.
I kind of like the one with the beads the best.
That's what I would use. I wouldn't like, and I don't have no experience with it, but just common sense tells me. And O'Brien, they've been in the business a long time, so I would even imagine they have a R&D department, so to speak, research and development, and test different things and see what works and the after effects and all that stuff. That's what you do with anything you use. If you got a shitty mill, your dog ain't gonna be in good shape, man. If you don't have your cat mill set up properly, you're gonna hurt your dog. If you don't teach them how to work a spring pole or a flirt pole, you're gonna damage them. That just that goes along with it. So everything has to be tested and see what's good about it and bad about it. Avoid do preventative maintenance, avoid any injuries that can happen or any mishaps, just like with dogs pads or his nails. If your dog's out and about a lot, I'd be checking their ears all the time, for mites and tick, all kinds of shit, and that's what I mean, handling them. A lot of dogs, you rub their toes, they don't like it. But if you do it from when they're little, you can rub them anywhere. I'd get mine in between the toes. They loved it, because I'm petting them. I stick my finger in their ear, open their mouth, check the back of their throat, check their gums, check their teeth, look for shit, maybe a piece of grass maybe stuck in there or whatever. It's all that.
Ever since we've been cooking up on these collars, we've been cooking up on conditioning tools. Hey, Buck, man, you still there? This motherfucker.
He
Hey, we
might have
got
fell
to.
asleep.
I know his son be tripping this stuff. Hey, we got this waterworks cook up coming up right now. What about the training in water and the water workout? I guess that's very similar to the resistance that we was talking about with the weighted, with the
Yeah.
weights on.
Yeah,
Who was
some
messing
people.
with the swimming?
Well, I know several people that did. Bobby Hall talked about it. Nick the Greek talked about it. They use that with Tornado, double grand champion Tornado. And there's different ways to do that. You take them down to the ocean, and there's, the thing with the water though in the ocean is it's salt water. If the dog drinks a lot of that salt water or even a fair amount, they're going to get sick from it. So if you take them to a lake, if there's a lot of crap in the lake, then you have to deal with that. But some people get a swimming pool and then they have an apparatus where it keeps them in place, or some people let them swim in the swimming pool loose, they get in there with them. I did a keep one time swimming 20 minutes top. I won in 20 minutes, but I went down to like a canal, and then we had a stick that went across. So she was basically swimming in place like that. But it's for that resistance. You use a lot of different muscles, and it's just another method of conditioning dogs. But what I noticed is, I had to stop that at least a week beforehand. Just like if you give them bones or you do spring pole, you have to stop, because with the swimming they'll get waterlogged, so it's going to throw your weight off. Even when the dog seems like it's dry, it's still going to be wet underneath, right? So they have to be completely dry. So I would stop that. If I was giving them bones, I'd stop 2 weeks out, or spring pull or tug of war at least a week out, because their muscles have to relax back into place. They'll get muscle bound, you know. So
Mm,
there's, it's
that's a
different things,
good
but
little trick for the waterworks. Because
yeah,
I was thinking to
yeah,
myself, that's a lot of time, especially if you're using that as the center point of the keep. That's a lot of time
yeah,
in the water.
yeah. And you don't have to do it a lot. It doesn't have to be your main thing. And again, when you take them to, let's say, a lake and there's sand or dirt on the bank, or you take them to the ocean, the sand there, it's wet. It's good resistance training when they walk. We used to take ours down to the riverbed when there was no water in it and run them and walk them in the sand, right? So whatever distance we did in the sand, that would be like doing twice the distance on the open road, on dirt or on pavement or whatever, just because that sand gives. So it builds up strength that way. And the same thing at the beach, it'll do that whether you're in the dry sand or the wet sand. The sand gives. So the dog has to work harder just to walk, even if it's just a little bit. But we did that different thing. I tried all kinds of shit just to see how it worked.
I
Now,
guess that's a big part of it. Kid, don't be scared to try something different. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I got a swim tank keep too, but I wouldn't use that for my main part of the conditioning. It's a good low impact workout, and it do got its benefits. You'll get a lot of good core strength in there, and it'll keep your heart rate up at a steady pace, at a consistent pace, but it won't be like that explosive type workout, or
there you
that
go.
you won't get a lot of fucking endurance out of it, because you're not pushing against nothing other than the current. So you would still need, either road work, mill work, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I sent you the video a while back, Ram. You remember old boy? He looked like he had the water storage tank. The
Yep.
joints with it looked like the metal grid around the plastic
Yeah.
square thing. He set his joint up like that. I was kind of digging the joint, but I was just thinking about how practical it would be in the actual keep. But 2 weeks out, yeah, and you could, I guess, like you said, you couldn't make it the main focal point of it.
Yeah. But
Maybe
say
what?
it's like it's good. Say like if you own the mill and you get a sprain or something like that, you could still work your dog, without missing out on too much work until he's able to get back on the mill. Without the swim tank, you just gotta let him rest and just light walks and shit like that.
As far as
Yeah.
these keeps go, man, what do y'all think of as far as what y'all had going on? It less is more is less. Just your personal opinion.
Keep it simple,
Less
stupid.
less is more. I mean, less is more. More is bad. It's
Okay.
it's better to do less than to do too much,
Hell yeah.
because
Now,
too much you could ruin them. You could overwork them, right? You could miss the peak. So if you do less, and maybe the dog can do more, you're still okay, because the dog has natural abilities anyways, and
exactly.
so you got to look at it that way. There's people that work the
And
shit out of their dogs, and they're good at it. There's people that don't work their dogs that hard, and they're good at it. It's the type of work, how they do it. And if you research human athletes, like sprinters, they only do about 60% workout. They don't do no 100%. They save that for the race. A marathon runner, he's not out there running 26 miles. They don't do that. They may run up to 15 or 16 or whatever it is, because you got to have something left in the tank, and you got to have enough rest, and your muscles have to recuperate, and your tendons and all that shit. So, there's that aspect. That's more recent, because a lot of them guys, according to them, they work their dog 6 or 8 hours a day,
Yeah, I remember the Don
and
Mayfield stories. They talk about he had them dogs in
yeah,
that journey
yeah,
for hours at a.
yeah. And you can do that, right? But that is all dependent on how much you feed. So if you're
So
working your
much to
dog
take
that
in.
much, yeah, can you imagine how much you're feeding them? You might be giving them 2 pounds of meat and whatever else, another pound of food. So they may be eating 3 pounds of food to do that type of work. It would be like somebody working labor 8 hours a day. They're gonna have a good breakfast. They're gonna break for lunch. They're gonna have a nice dinner. It's a lot of fucking food. So you would have to do that. Yeah, you would have to do that with your dog. Whereas, the counter to that is you can get the same type of results and not have them to feed that much by doing less work, because it's how you do the work, the type of work you're doing, that's the benefit. So even that, there's no correct way to do it.
But
Two of
that's
the
not
top
to
guys.
say don't be out there just all work my dog 10 minutes. That's good enough. Like, no,
Nah,
that's not
yeah,
what we
nah,
saying.
dude.
You know,
No, not at all. Not at all. If you're gonna work them 10 minutes, then you do that like I do sex, right? 10 minutes, 30 times a day.
Y'all crazy.
Right? Like that, right? I'm gonna give you a good 3 minutes, but we can do it 15 times if you want.
Oh, man.
equal out to 30 minutes before the sun go down.
Yeah. Or someone else, they may give you 30 minutes or an hour. Shit, I'm giving you 5 hours a day. It's just in increments. So you got to push them. And for me, I pushed mine way before I put them in the keep. I knew where their threshold was. I beat them up and bang them up way before they ever went into keep, so that I would know where they're at. I know where to stop. I know when I can increase. It wasn't, okay, I'm going to do the keep and this is the way it is and pay attention that way. Nah, hell no. I knew if my dogs could go this long doing some kind of exercise or some performance or a roll or whatever it is, I knew where their threshold was. And I knew how much they could do before it got to that, and how they reacted once it got to that threshold and past it, right? I always wanted to see them wanting more, even if they're tired, still want to do some work. It's up to me not to let them do it, to back off. That's enough. We're done. But I wanted to. I don't like dogs that quit in a workout. Man. I don't care what anybody says. And I wouldn't push them that far to where they would quit. Just make them give up. Now, that's not good on their psyche.
They were telling me, I was hearing a lot of stuff about that being part of just a dog making it to schooling to that point, being able to take the physical work. And if it couldn't even get to that point, it didn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like, it was so much going on with the work. Like, if you want to enlighten me a little bit on there, your opinion on that.
Yeah, a lot of people, in their opinion, it don't matter. If he quits in a workout, that don't mean he's going to quit in a role or whatever, show or whatever, right? But me, just what I understand about animals, the way their psyche works, if you teach them how to quit, or they learn how to quit, or they understand what quitting is, that ain't good, man. That ain't good. You may have some exceptions where they're lazy dogs and they don't give a shit about work and they're super dogs. That's good. But on the whole, nah, man. I don't never want them to know what it's like to stop. Not in a show, not in a workout, not nothing. I don't want them to become familiar with that, because at a crucial point, that might click in their head and say, fuck it, I'm done. And even in a workout, I don't want them doing that. And I see that all the time. They'll run them on a mill till the dog says, I'm done, that's it, I give up, I stop. That don't make no sense to me. You should just stop that workout way before that, so he would have plenty left. So his intent, the next time you do it, is he enjoys this shit and he's going to do it again, and he's going to do it better.
Always when more.
Yeah, and when you're doing your keep, you got to look at it like this. When you're starting out, the dog can't do the same amount of work in the beginning of the keep that he can do at the end of the keep. So at the end of the keep, he's doing a lot more work than when you started out. How do you get to that point? It's incremental. You got to build them up little by little. But if you're pushing them so hard at the beginning where they're quitting, that's not good. I don't see it, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody prove me wrong.
No, but being realistic about the work, I guess, not going into this with super high expectations at the beginning. I guess, essential buildup of the dog, but but this is correlating to like not letting your dog get too far off where you're having to rebuild them. So keeping them at a certain level
Yeah,
coming
you
into
don't want to be
everything.
in fat camp during keep. You know,
Yeah,
you already
exactly.
too far behind if you got to do a fat camp keep.
Yeah, yeah. That's another point I was going to make. I never had mine too much above their weight. If it was a smaller dog, a couple of pounds. If it was bigger dog, high 40s or 50, maybe 4 pounds. But I didn't. It's not necessary to have them heavy like that. And in the wintertime, I understand people. They live in real cold weather. You got to have several pounds on them. But when it comes to conditioning, I never kept them that that heavy. Because they can't do the work. So you'd have to start off real slow. And some people want to take that work off fast, so they think, well, I'm gonna push them hard in the beginning, and they'll drop the weight fast. You could hurt the dog doing that. So
Mm,
I kind of correlate it to fighters like Duran or Bernard Hopkins, or even Mayweather. They never got bloated up between fights. They stayed relatively close to their weight. And then now it's a matter of you building up. You're not really cutting a lot of fat, and you're not having to get rid of all this negative shit inside your body and all that. You're relatively fit. Now your workout is to build yourself up, build up your strength, build up your speed, build up your reflexes, like that. And I looked at the dogs that way too.
mm. We got JB in the chat, shifting gears. What's the tips on staying away from BS breeders? Not talking about just poor pedigrees, but poor businessmen. Shit, I would tell you, hey man, you gotta do your research on shit, man. You know,
Yeah,
you're investing in a
yeah.
dog.
You gotta find out who's BS first. And
Cause
a lot of
people
that
Yeah,
be
comes
hating
from
a lot. A lot of
yeah
haters
from
out, but it is a lot of
yeah
bullshit breeders out too. So
yeah.
yeah, that's
yeah,
always
man.
been a fucking tightrope walk, man. It ain't just
hmm
today. Shit.
yeah.
I
You got to
I say,
network.
man,
You got to hear testimonial. You got to hear from other people, if possible. A lot of times that's not possible. Nobody's talking. So
you
again,
gotta.
you're gonna get you can go through some bullshit. But when you find somebody you can work with, somebody honest, and you like their dogs, stick with them. Make that relationship, keep that friendship, or at least a good acquaintance, and keep it going that way. Because there ain't nothing that uh, that has happened in the past that don't happen today. It's just that there's more of it because there's more people and more dogs involved. There's always been cheaters, liars, people rub dogs and steal money, steal dog, all that. It's just there's more of it because, like I said, there's more dogs now, and there's more inexperienced breeders. A lot of people are just breeding dogs. They're not really breeders; they just breed dogs.
Mm,
So you're gonna lose some money. You're gonna maybe lose a friend. You're gonna get whatever. So be like, if you were going to buy a car or a house, whatever. Be picky. Don't jump at the first person that offers you a dog. Do some research. Like Thompson said. Like that.
yeah, yeah, man. I take it to nostalgia, man. Everybody got a dog that they like. Somebody has a dog that you're gonna like. You'll encounter, you'll see the dog, you'll like the dog's attitude, the way it does. I mean, go with what you like. You know what I mean? I was hearing y'all cook up, and y'all were talking about dogs that weren't famous. They're not these great dogs
Right.
out here that didn't get that limelight. You know what I mean? You don't have to be boxed into thinking you got to go this. I always go with my gut. If I see a dog and I like it, yeah, I'm rocking with that because it's what I like. You know what I mean?
hmm
The paper will
Yeah.
get you, but so far you better like the motherfucker.
Yeah. First, exactly.
Mhm.
And a lot of them dogs, they're well known among the fraternity that's involved in that. They just not well known to the general public or somebody outside of that area or something like that. But that's always been true too. you know
Yeah, we got Don Jordan in here. Is the recover time more important in the middle of the training or the end of the workout? Explain.
it, it's important all the way through. In my opinion, it wouldn't uh it's not in the beginning, middle, or end. you know it's all the way through. They have to have proper recover, proper rest all the way through. But the difference is at the end of the keep, when you're peaking them, that's when they're going to get the most rest, because the way I did it is the week before I started backing off the work. I did half the work each day incrementally. So I'm going to do a certain amount. The Saturday before the show, I'm going to do a certain amount. Sunday, I'm going to do half that amount. Monday, I'm going to do half that amount. Tuesday, I'm going to do half that amount. And Wednesday, I might walk them some or whatever, do a little bit of work, or rest them from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or rest them Thursday and Friday. It depends on the dog and how the workout went and all that. And what that does in peaking them is two things. Mentally, the dog wants to do work and you're not letting them. So all that is building up inside of them mentally. And the physical part is they're going to dry themselves out, just like a wild animal. When they're coming to peak in a hunt, they're without food, so they're real fucking hungry, and they don't have a lot of moisture in them so that they can perform, so that they can catch the prey. And a lot of times when they go hunt, right? A lot of times when they hunt, they don't catch the first kill they see. It takes them 2 or 3 or 4 times. It may take them 2 or 3 or 4 days. But at the time they're at their peak, they're sharp as hell. They ain't going to miss the prey, man. They're going to get it, and they're going to push themselves to get it. And that's how I kind of look at the dogs, you know. I want them hungry. I want them dried out. I want them focused and ready to smash.
So, because there's a lot of misconceptions about this peak. You know, we touch on it. This peak. Are we initiating the peak, or are you waiting for the peak?
No, you gotta do it. You doing it.
Yeah, so it's gonna fall in with the work. If you doing the work right, it's gonna just naturally fall into place, bro.
Because this is how it's being looked at. Like you're working, and then that maximum performance is the peak, where you're like, okay, the dog is working at the longest rate at this pace, but you're trying to time this with a specific date, and then
that's what that last week does. That's how you time it.
Okay.
Right, and you could time it to the day, the minute, the hour. You could have them at peak for 2 days. You know, it starts to fall after a while. You can't keep them at that peak forever, right? But
so what are we talking? A 7-day span? Because I've heard up to 7. I heard up to 7 days a week. I've heard up to 7 days. The last 7 days of rest.
Yeah.
What are we playing with? What are we playing with as far as days?
Well, for me, I want them peak the day of the show. And that's how I lead them up to it. That's how I manipulate them to it. It has to do mentally, because all the physical work is done. Most of the heavy work is done. That work is just to get them into condition. The peak, that's the physical peak. The mental peak, the last 2 or 3 days or whatever, that's the mental peak. Because they'll start, they have so much energy and reserves build up into them. They start jumping around and screaming and crying and focusing on any little thing that moves. It could be a leaf. It could be another animal. It could be a cat running by. It could be them just on their own, just focus. And sometimes they'll tremble, and you'll see them. They'll kick up dust when they take a shit, you know, and they're going to kick it up harder and farther than they did earlier in the keep. And that drying out don't mean dehydrated, right? But they will naturally do that because they don't require that much water, because they're not doing that much work. And the dogs will do that on their own. But the peak don't last. It ain't no fucking week, you know. And you want to get it, if you can, to the fucking minute that you step in there. So it's not just how the dog behaves, it's how you manipulate that dog. You know, the last 2 or 3 days, I ain't doing shit with them. I ain't even hardly touching them. I'm just going to take them out on time to empty them out and go back in and settle down and rest and don't do shit. On the day of the show, I ain't even looking at them. They're put away. They're quiet. I ain't touching them. I ain't nothing. because anything you do at that point, especially those last 2 or 3 days, they're going to get amped up. If you take them out, they're going to pull the lead and they're going to be looking for shit. Now you're taking away their conditioning. You're going to lose it. So I don't even hardly fuck with them the last 2 or 3 days, just a little bit, as less as possible. Because like I said, anything you do, it could go against and take away that conditioning that you put in them,
Mm.
So it's the last part is more mental than physical. Physical shit has already been done. Some people do that a week out. Some people do it even 2 weeks out. It just depends on how you do it.
Mm.
And you can tell the difference. If you do enough of them, you can tell. You can tell when you're coming up. You can tell when you're right on time. You can tell when you passed it. And if you're a little bit past it, you could be okay. If you're way past it, I've never found a way to fix it. And I just ain't that good.
Only way to fix it is pay up.
Pay up, dude.
Another fucking 8 weeks. My fault.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way.
And I'm telling you, and I would see that in the workout,
Yeah,
like
that's
a
why
week
I want
before
to
or
add
even
on. Like, you will be able to predict where you would be at if you paying attention during the whole keeping notes and shit. So say like when my conditioning, I start off, we just boom 10 minutes for the first 3 days, then I add 5 minutes on the last 2. Boom, for the rest day coming up, then we start at 15 and I just add 5 minutes. So it'd be more than 5, but just 5 just to keep it in check. So by the third week, after them 5-minute intervals, we up the fucking second week from 15 to 20, third week from 20 to 25. If you fucking pay attention to where he at working and shit and how much he done gained, you keeping all your notes. When you get to that last week, you would know where he's supposed to be at, and you could
exactly.
start to see your peak. So, and like Schoolboy was saying, you still work them during that last week, but not hard. So, say my keep, like he was saying, like my beginning will be my end. So it'll be like a pyramid, if you will. We going up, boom. And the last week we coming down with the same shit we was doing in the beginning, which was, the 5 minutes to the 10 minutes type shit. But we
Like
doing
that.
it in reverse. So I'm just chopping it down from 15, boom, one day, 10 to 5. The last day, like you say, I might just walk them out, and let them rest
Like
for
that.
that fucking Thursday and Friday in the room
Yeah.
somewhere put up.
If somebody would research it, they would probably find some science behind it. I don't know the science. I ain't no scientist. I just know what I seen and what I did, and through trial and error, And let's say I'm a week out, right? Going by how the dog's weight is, I know what my dog's going to weigh on show day. I know if he's going to be right on point. I know if he's going to be a quarter pound under, a half a pound under, even a pound under. And when you see that, what a lot of guys will do, let's say you know your dog's going to be a pound under, right? They'll start adjusting shit, adding more food, adding more water, this and that, and that'll fuck everything up. If you're going to be a half a pound light, be a half a pound light. Don't fuck your dog up just because you want him to gain a half a pound. You may bring them in too wet. They may have too much food that they're not using now because you ain't working them the last week.
Yep.
So you just giving them calories they don't know, they don't need.
Exactly. You be fucking, you'll be better off just coming in under.
Just come in under.
You got Martinez game.
Yeah,
go
you
ahead,
want to
man.
be right on time, but sometimes it don't work out that way. Sometimes you miss the weight a little bit. He really is a 43. He's not a 44. So bring him in at 43. If you bring him in at 43, rather than adding a pound to make him at 44, he's not only pushing the dog who came in at 44 a pound, he's pushing the extra pound you put on him. So that's 2 pounds he's actually pushing, not 1.
Yep.
And a lot of people argue with me or they this or that. I didn't give a fuck, and I got the receipts to back it up. That's the way I did it. And it was always in my mind too. When we would school our dogs, a lot of times you don't care about weight. You 2 pounds over, 5 pounds, 6 pounds, whatever the dog is, and they can do good like that. So in shape, they should be able to handle a half a pound or a pound. I'm not saying no 2 or 3 or 4 pounds. That's way too much, but something within that range, a quarter pound. People worried about a quarter pound. Come on, dude. That don't make
Yeah,
no sense to
yeah, you didn't really want to do it if you worried about a
me.
quarter
Yeah,
pound or a
yeah,
half a
yeah.
pound. Shit,
Come
I
on.
done pushed a
Yeah.
pound and a half before and didn't complain.
Me
Still took
too.
the
Me too.
forfeit, but let's
Yeah.
do it. Shit.
We
Yeah.
got Martinez game dogs. When conditioning, what's better, checking heart rate or temperature?
Yeah, that's
I
what I
was
said
over. I
in the
was always.
chat.
I was always on the heart rate. But go
Yeah, me
ahead.
too. I'm a heart rate guy, and that's just cause.
Yeah. Well, I never checked temperature, so I didn't even think about it. The only way I checked the temperature was to touch them.
Yeah,
But heart rate for me too. Go ahead, Ram.
yeah, that's just my that's what it consists of. I want your resting heartbeat rate and then your maximum stress heartbeat rate, and I want to try to get your maximum stress heartbeat rate as close as possible to your resting heartbeat rate. So that's just how I was brought up
Yeah.
when I learned how to do a keep from a professional dog, man.
Yep.
You got
The
the science
easiest way to
behind it.
check it, the easiest way to check it is through their breathing and their heart, where you could see pumping. You see them breathing, you see their heart pumping, right? So this is what I tell people too, and it's in my key, right? When you start the workout, they're going to hit a point where they got to catch their breath during the workout. They're going to slow down, and then they're going to recoup on the fly and continue with the workout, right? You time that, and you do that all the way through the keep. And then after the workout, you're going to walk them out to cool them down. You time that, and the same thing at the end of the keep. So at the beginning of the keep, it may take them 15 minutes before they hit that second wind. And then after the workout, it may take them 10 minutes to cool down. So at the end of the keep, it should take them a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes to cool down afterwards. And for them to break their wind, it might take them 30 or 40 minutes. That's how you know what kind of condition your dog is in.
Yep, and that's just
He's
how I
doing he
did my
doing
shit.
he doing more work at the end of the keep, but his wall is a longer period of time, and his cool down after the keep is a shorter period of time than when you started the keep.
Yep,
And they doing
exactly.
more work. We doing harder work.
I did mine like that, but I got it timed to where the time it would take when on the break when the scratching starts.
Like that.
And so by
Yeah,
the time we turn around, my mouth is closed. We back
exactly.
ready. Let's go. It look like we just got here, and we could
Yeah,
be 5 scratches
yeah,
in a piece.
yeah. And that plays into the dog not knowing where his threshold is. He don't know. He don't have a clock like that in his head. So he could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It could be 2 hours. And he
Yep.
still thinks he's supposed to go. And they
Hell
do.
yeah, and he will like shit. I'm here. Let's go, motherfucker.
Let's go. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
you
because
gonna be ready to do that? Is the
Yeah,
question.
exactly. Exactly.
well, we discussed about these dogs knowing the ins and outs of these dogs and knowing what their breaking point is and how far they can go. When are you going to take them to that breaking point for you to verify that? At what age? When
Me?
are we going to
For me,
force
that's
this
in
issue?
schooling, like when serious schooling starts,
Yeah.
I ain't
Yep.
talking about just fucking around. We just now getting started. So, I mean, we deep in the school, like we taking
Yeah.
college courses.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when I'm
For
gonna see that.
example, most of my dogs, they could do 30 minutes off the chain easy. They could do 45 minutes. Some could do an hour. I've done them for 2 hours off the chain. And you might think, well, they ain't doing nothing. Bullshit. They wrecking each other. And they're going to need some heavy aftercare. And one thing you don't hear a lot of people say, old timers back in the day, they ain't talking about, I had to hook my dog up afterwards. I had to give him decks and I had to give him ringers and this and that. So how are they really schooling their dogs, or how did they really school their dogs? They either not saying it and they did it. It's just taken for granted that that's what they did, or they didn't push them hard like that. Because I've had to work on dogs after a fucking roll because they down, man. They overheated, they hurt, all
Took
that.
way more shit than they took in either match you put them in.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, man, I
Sometimes,
didn't have to do all of that. I could have just
yeah.
matched you
Sometimes,
after the last time.
yeah, yeah. Things like that, and it's all a learning process.
And back in
That's,
your
you know,
time, and this is, of course, we got to drop the disclaimer. Historically
always.
speaking, it's just no dog sold, bred, trained, raised for any illegal activity. All of this conversation is historically speaking. Well, did y'all believe in the 15-month thing, or the 20-month thing, or the 24? What was your leeway when you was like, I done seen enough of this shit? Is
Well, there you
it?
go. In my mind, this is the way I did it, you know, because early on is when I did all that heavy stuff, right? I did that with my foundation stock. I wanted to make sure they were there, they would stay there, all that stuff, their game, all that. Once you start breeding your dogs, you know them, right? You don't have to kill them. You don't have to punch them. Now, some people will disagree, you know, they need tons of schooling, right? But I did a lot of that too when they were young, right? And I've messed up dogs and I've started them at 11 months, 12 months, this and that, you know. I learned, you know, you can wait, right? And I could put more on them as they're older, but less times, right? So, for example, Clayton Blood, he won in 1:39, 2:43. His first roll was 30 minutes in the summertime. He never took a breath against his brothers, right? So each brother of his got 15 minutes each. And the only reason I did that because after 15 minutes, they started to run a little hot because it's summertime. He wasn't. He breathing like he was underwater. So I told my son, go get the other one. Go get Mr. Rowdy. Go get his brother. He did. So he did 30 minutes his first time. His second roll was 40 minutes. I matched him after that. And basically what I'm looking at is when I school my dogs, and you can do it all kinds of different ways. I never had no method. I just put them down. Whatever was in front of me, that's what I looked at. That's what I judged them on. And how they finished, scratch hard at the end, mattered more than how it started. But within that, you know, once I saw enough to say I can win with this dog against whatever they put on me, I'm gonna hook them up. It may be 2 rolls, it may be 3 rolls, it may be 5 rolls, and that's just the way I looked at it. Because a lot of that stuff is natural too, you know. You start seeing the same thing in your family of dogs and same behaviors and action and all that stuff. They know what they're doing, but I would influence different things in them. You know, hit this spot, do that. You know, if I put a bigger dog on a smaller dog, you know, and the bigger dog's beating them up, I'd take the bigger dog and trip it up, or I'd lay it down, get on top of it, and let the little dog get their hits in, you know, like that. So a lot of different things I did as they were growing up, you know, and by the time they were adult, you know, they were pretty schooled out, man, as far as using that word goes. But yeah, everything we talk about is in the past. You know, it's all this. Last time I matched a dog was 1995, so I wouldn't even know what a pit bull looks like today, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have freedom. We're gonna have freedom of speech over here on Thompson's Kennels, man. We're gonna be able to talk historically because it is part of the history of the dogs. It is what it is.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, all that. Well, you're right. That's a good point, Thompson, because all that is you know, the result of all that past history is what the breed is about today. And you can do different stuff with them. That's why they're good at weight pulling and treadmill race. They have that work ethic. They have that prey drive. They have that intensity, that want, you know. So it can be directed towards all kinds of stuff. So that should never leave, you know, the health, the vitality, the constitution, the durability, all that stuff, you know, good immune system. It should still be viable in the breed today.
Did that sink in for the tree huggers across the nation? The type of work and condition and punishment that these animals went through is why you have the breed today. This is what cultivated it. This is what makes the dog special. It's been through all of this. Generations and generations and generations of selective breeding, people putting these dogs to this test. This is how you get steel. This is how you get it. This is how it was
These
created.
motherfuckers forged and fire and steel. God damn it.
All that, man. You know, the pit bull, as much as people don't like to admit it, it's not a regular dog, and it ain't for everybody. It's not. You can't have some little kid that wants a horsey to ride on, go out and get a thoroughbred racehorse. That horse is going to hurt that kid. That ain't the horse for that child or for someone who's not familiar with thoroughbred racehorses. It ain't. It's a mistake to do that. You want to go get a little Shetland pony, or you want to get, something that's been bred down and they ride it a lot and this and that. You can't do that with a thoroughbred racehorse or a cutting horse, or a barrel racer. Them horses are different, man. They like you ain't never seen. So it's the same thing with a pit bull. This is not a regular dog. It's not a poodle. It's not a Yorkie. It's not a pug. There's a lot more to it.
We got a question from the long way too up in here. I gotta get to this, bro. Let's talk about these shots and vaccines. Do y'all give adult dogs any vaccines routinely or exclusively? Let the panel cook up.
I did.
Yeah,
I gave them their shots when. Did you? Do you?
Yeah, just because it's so much shit be rampant out here because it be so hot and dry damn near year round. I just don't want to risk. Even though they might be immune to it, I don't want them to bring it onto the yard and get one of the younger dogs sick or just all kind, just from the weather out here, be all type of just shit floating around. So yeah, once a year I hit them with like a 9-in-1, my adult dogs, but I vaccinate the shit out of my puppies for that same reason too, though.
Yeah. Do you give the adults like once a year, once every 2 years, or what?
Well, yeah, once a year I give them a 9-in-1. Especially because we'll get alerts and shit like, oh man, fucking coccidia is bad out here this year, or parvo is fucking mutated, or just And so if you sign up to like just your little local shelters and shit like that, little newsletters, they'll send you alerts for shit like that in your area when shit pop up. Because like Schoolboy be saying, it's better to be proactive than reactive.
Yep. Now, if I had dogs today, I'd probably be doing all that. I would probably deworm my dogs more now because a lot of especially depends on where you live, but with deworming, I did it when they were pups, and then I gave the ivermectin once a month, heartworm preventative, and then I used Droncit and what's the other one? Droncit
Ivermectin?
and no, damn it, I had it on. Anyways, I did that twice a year, and I do it. I gave them, deworm them, wait 10 days, deworm them again, and then I give them the other dewormer, the same method, each dog like that.
Yeah, I'm always big on deworming, but I heard flip flop things because I always give my pups the 10 ways and stuff, but I heard things over the years about people saying about the injectables. I don't know. I hit them with a 10-way. If I think something's going on, but I'm not like religiously on it as far as older dogs, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm skeptical of just shooting them up with that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. Like as puppies, but
right. A lot of it is preventative maintenance. If you have your area clean, you delouse them and deworm them, and you don't have no standing water, and you cut your grass so you don't have a bunch of mites and ticks and shit. If you have livestock, keep them away from the dogs. A lot of it is preventative. I used to spray bleach all over once a week, and use 7 dust on the dog and in their dog house, once a month, and make sure lift up their house, make sure there's no black widows or crap or under there, or I made sure there wasn't no birds around my area, for coccidia. So for me, because I'm not that, like I said, I'm not a veterinarian or anything like that. So for me, a lot of it was just preventative maintenance,
And by me saying that, I'm not telling anybody don't get your rabies vaccinations. We're talking about booster shots like the 10 ways, the 5 ways, the 12 ways. We're not by any means, get your vaccination. Get your rabies shot. If you're in the state, county that's obligated for you to have it, make sure you have it.
Yeah. Yep. Follow the laws, man. That'll save you a lot of heartache in the long run.
I got JB up in here talking about what y'all think about today's catch dogs for the pig hunting. I get asked a bunch of questions about the hog hunting thing. I guess that's a popular thing now. A lot of people are trying to direct the dogs towards pig hunting. People are comparing it as a game, it's legal. And it's a
Yeah.
form of game testing for the dogs to some extent.
Well, to some extent, yeah, but it's different. You know, there's only one way, you know, and that's illegal. So, but you still have to have a tough, durable dog that knows how to hog hunt, that knows how to be a catch dog. If you take your average pit bull and they ain't familiar with how to catch hogs and how to maneuver them and how to move around and where to hit them and all that, you could wind up with a dead dog because they're going to try and swap it out with the hog and the weight difference and then big old tusks. You know, the dog a lot of times is going to lose.
Or they'll start
Uh,
fighting the bay dog, you know?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And motherfuckers
So,
be mad as fuck at you, your dog attacked their bay dog.
yeah, yeah. They get wound up. You know, it takes a special kind of dog to hunt more than, you know, one dog at a time. Pit bulls, you know, catch dogs, you know, they have to be very intelligent. They have to be trained that way. You redirect them towards the hog basically, so that they don't want to go after the dog. They want to go after something, but it's not the other dog. It's a hog, you know. And I went on several hog hunts, you know, years ago, and you know, they catch dogs. They can be pure pit bull. They can be staff. They can be staff and pit bull mixed. Some are mixed with Catahoula and Mastiff. It just depends. You know, it's like anything else. If you're developing a breed or dog or whatever it is for a particular function, then those are the ones you should breed if you're into breeding catch dogs, basically, you know, or whatever it is you're breeding. You know, only certain ones can do it, or they're the best at it. That's the ones you want to do. And if I was a breeder, those are the ones I would breed, you know.
Hell yeah. I went on a couple too, and the first time I went on one, my dumb ass dog trying to fight the hog, not just trying to, you know, catch him by the ear and shit. So it didn't
Yeah,
work out too
yeah,
well for him, you know, broke a couple ribs
yeah,
and shit. But he had the
yep.
vest on, so that saved his life, you know, overall. Well, yeah, I brought
Hmm.
some bolio shit out there. He knew exactly what to do when he seen that
Yeah.
motherfucker.
So it's a trip. The hogs will actually swap it out with the dog. You know, the dog
Hell
grab a
yeah,
shoulder,
that's why my
the
dog
hog will
started
grab a
trying to
shoulder
fight
too.
him. My dog was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you want to fight, motherfucker?" And tried to hit him in the stifle.
yeah,
That shit ain't finna work
yeah,
on this big motherfucker, man.
yeah. And then hog, when they grab something, they shake it too. You know,
Yeah, they'll shake
they'll
you out.
either yeah, they'll either push up like that, try to hit you with their tucks, but if they grab you, they'll shake, and
Shake
they're
you right
quick,
to the
man. They
floor. Hell yeah.
fast, man.
Yeah,
They look like
JB
they're lazy
responded.
and they don't move and shit, but they're quick.
Man, them motherfuckers will run past you and cut you on the way out the door. Like a
Yeah, yeah.
fucked up hooker.
Hmm.
And JB said he was curious. I hear a lot about it here in Texas. Yeah, man. Like I
Yeah, that's
said, like
what I went to with Texas. Them hogs dangerous and big out there. If you go, get a vest for your dog and something for your fucking thighs and shins.
Yeah,
Cause you
and
could
go with
die out
somebody that
there.
knows what they're doing. Go with
Yeah,
somebody
don't
that knows
just
what
be
they're
out there
doing.
fucking around on your property.
Hell
That
no.
motherfucker eat you and your dog.
Yeah.
there's some shit out there in the woods, brother. Yeah, man. It's legal, like Schoolboy said, so it's becoming popular. You know what I mean? It's a
Hmm.
legal activity, and that's very few legal activities we have with these dogs nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. In a lot of places, coyote hunting is legal too with dogs. And of course,
Yeah, man.
you got raccoons. You know, raccoons in some places are considered an invasive, destructive species. I have a friend, you know, that he clears farms and stuff of rats, and then with the raccoons, there's like a bounty on them. Because I asked him about it. What do you do? How do you get paid for the raccoons? You take them somewhere, and they pay you for each raccoon you kill. You know, and there's no limit.
Where that at? I'm
So
finna be Davy Crockett around this bitch.
that's it. Where he's at is where the Mormons at? Utah.
Yeah.
In
Oh hell
in
no.
Utah.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to Utah for.
It might be the same for Arizona. You never know. You know.
Well, I know coyotes. Yeah, we could hunt coyotes with the dogs
Hmm.
that didn't have
Yeah.
Like I was
Hmm.
just running into some coyotes the other night. They be all in my neighborhood and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, G Co's out chasing them around on a little e-bike. Get out of here, bitches.
Yeah. Yeah. Once
Man.
they become not scared of humans, you know, they can be a problem. They'll get into your livestock. They'll get into your garbage. They'll kill your poochie.
Man, I seen
You
a
know,
video earlier. One just the lady said her little daughter outside the car. One just ran up and grabbed the baby. The baby like 3 years old, tried to smile
Yeah.
off with him. Like
Yep.
hell
They got some
no.
size on them too. They about 40 pounds. They
Yeah,
get up to
Big,
about
big
40
ones
pounds.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's a good game test to go hunting with them and shit. It ain't just gotta be pigs. Like they say, I got partners that do them dogs with coons. I got you go out there with a game dog, come back, kill. And, you know, I'm in the South, so you know there's people down here that still eat the motherfuckers. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, the raccoons vicious too though. She come back, your dog looking like Debo at the eye. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
motherfuckers
They
ain't
got them.
fucking around either, bro.
they
Yeah.
smart as fuck,
They'll,
man. They'll run down to the creek where the water is, and they know the dog will chase them down there to that creek, and they'll latch onto the dog's face like the max. Man, I done seen dogs get drowned by coons, man. They smart as hell, man. They're not stupid.
yeah. Yeah. Famous dog, Klaus's. I think it was Klaus's Baldy. That's how he lost him. He went out in the lake, chased a raccoon. The raccoon got on his head and drowned him. He couldn't do nothing about it. They were out in the middle of the water.
God damn. Your whole
Yeah.
pit bull card revoked. You get drowned by a
Yeah.
raccoon.
Yeah.
The motherfucker's
Bro,
smart, man. If they
I
kicking
know.
over garbage cans and shit, they kill a
Like the
motherfucker.
kangaroo, you seen that dude had to jump in the water and sock that kangaroo who was drowning his dog.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had to jump in the lake like, nah, man, you gotta let my dog go, homie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
They just have to
man.
be not scared of humans. One time I was sitting out here, or I came outside to smoke in the middle of the night, and there was a whole family of raccoons eating my cat food. And I'm like, I grabbed my bat and I hit it on the cement, and they just walked away like, okay, fuck you, we'll leave. They wasn't scared. They just walked away, the whole family, mama, daddy, babies. So once they familiarize with people and they ain't scared of them, they'll get in your garbage. They'll get your pet. They'll get you, man, if they pissed off enough.
All right, shit. We've been cooking for 3. I'm gonna catch some more questions here since I got your brothers on here cooking up on this Saturday. This wasn't a wake and bake. This is a Saturday sip and chill. Back
There
in
you go.
the day, Black Heart Kennels. Back in the days, what was the most weight you ever took off a dog? Schoolboy and Ram.
The most weight I ever took off,
Yep.
probably 5 pounds, 4 pounds, like
Mm,
that. Not that much.
mm,
Like I said, I kept them all, even as they became older. You notice a lot of people, the dog gets older, so they put more weight on. That ain't good for them. And I've had dogs live like that 15 years. So
mm,
it's like, like people, it always amazed me. You see these people go to the gym and they fit and got a 6-pack, all that shit, and their dog is fat as shit, like it don't correlate that maybe your dog would be healthier and live longer if you kept his weight down too, you know, give him good
mm,
food, give him good supplements. It just don't have to be a lot of it, give him regular exercise, you know.
mm. 4 or 5 pounds. Ram, what you got on that one?
What was the question? I was talking to the little
How
kid.
much?
Yeah.
How much weight you ever took off a dog?
Like 13 pounds.
Damn.
I'm bringing big, man. I'm a big dog. I'm a John Jones, your shit, man. I'm telling you. Once I figured out how to bring them down that low and be still as strong as they was, if not stronger than they was on the chain, it was over for you niggas. I should be hanging on that scale looking like a reindeer or a moose or something up there, bro. Motherfuckers
Man,
be like, fuck.
I was listening to y'all cook up one time, and Bach was on there. And I wish I was on that show, but I wanted to ask y'all questions about that. I don't know if he was the only one doing that, but he had said something that was crazy to me, but I never really thought about it at the time. We always talk about coming down, but he was talking about it if you were in a situation where, your dogs wasn't visible, about coming up in weight. What do y'all feel about the...
That's the second part of how I do my keep. So I'm bringing them way under, way. And as the work increases, so there's their weight. So it's no different than like when a bodybuilder working out, and then when he eat and he fell all the way out, he ain't looking flat no more. It's the same with the dog.
Okay. I see how you
Yeah,
playing it.
So granted, I
I
took
know,
him down 13 pounds under his pitch weight, but I brought him up, when his final match weight would be, you know, within fucking, I don't want to say too much, but let's just say 6 pounds of his chain weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a method that a lot of people, not a lot, but some people did. TVK did it. Steve Hendricks did it. Mr. Gray, Bach, you know, and it's just a method of bringing them down below their weight, and then you building them up,
Yep.
coming up to
But you
weight,
gotta
which
hold
they're
them at
coming.
that weight and let them get strong as they normally would
Yeah,
be at their higher weight at that weight. So it's a
yeah.
lot that
Well, you
go
can.
into that,
Yeah, yeah. And there's different ways to do it. For example, Mr. Gray, he would have them a pound or two above their weight. During the keep, they're going to be a pound or two below their weight. And then the last week, they come up in weight. You know, he was one of the best at it. That's one way of doing it. Another way is like Bach said, you're holding them below weight for a period of time, and they become accustomed to that being underweight. So when they come up, all they're doing is building strength, man. They're strong as a bull, and they big dog you and all that stuff, you know. And a lot of
Mm.
people, when they have their dogs heavy and they come down in weight, if they're too
but
heavy
if we
and
both they
come down
weight
in
is
weight,
it big dogging though, not to cut you off, OG.
right,
Because
right,
motherfuckers, I'm accused of being a notorious big dogger. Well, I'm like, we
yeah,
both came in at fucking 41. Maybe you called the wrong weight, motherfucker.
yeah, could be. But yours looks like a 43, you know. And then you know, you hold them at that weight, and then the last week you building them up, and it's real hard to miss the weight, and you wouldn't believe how much they're feeding them, dog. I mean, it's a lot of food, dude. It's a lot.
Oh
So a
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
dog
Yeah, by the
below
end of
weight,
the keep,
they can be a
we pushing about like 6 pounds of food.
yeah. It's quite a bit, you know. The way I was told, you know, you could feed them a 5 gallon bucket of feed, and you ain't gonna miss weight. You know, they're gonna be all right.
Mm.
It ain't that much, but that's just like the expression they use.
Yeah, and you
And
really could. Like you wouldn't miss weight. So you combine
it's
that
a
with
lot, man.
calling out the weight on the half. So if you're 36, call
Yeah,
36 and a half. So
right.
you really at 36, but you got room to make a mistake. And most of the
Yeah,
time, when you get good at it, you're gonna be coming in under 36. You're gonna be like, fuck, this
yeah,
motherfucker was
yeah,
really at 35 and a half.
right. And
Mm.
some of them, the concept when you bring them down in weight, you know, that they're getting weaker. Now, if your dog's real heavy and you bring them down like that, yeah, they could be weak. But like I said, I didn't have them that hot much over their weight. So I'm not really cutting fat a lot. You know, I'm building them up. So you have
Mm.
a trade off of they're cutting a little bit of fat, you're cutting the moisture, and you're building muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So there's that trade off of, you know, I'm coming down in weight, but I'm building up muscle too.
Yep.
And then
So
they
you
just
you
come
really you just trading weights, really. You trading
like
the,
that. There
the
you go.
bullshit dope
See?
for the pink flake.
There you go. You said it. You said it better than I did, Ram. Like that. So, you know, again, you just
Frederick
gotta practice.
Thomas. Frederick Thompson. How long after a female's heat cycle do you usually wait till you get her back to work? I mean, well, technically, it just depends on how much blood you want to clean off your slap mill and shit. You know,
Yeah,
I've seen people
yeah,
work them through a heat cycle after it didn't matter whenever it popped up.
yeah.
You try to avoid it, but sometimes you can bring it on with females when you're working them. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Mine were pretty regular, so I never had that problem. You know,
Mm.
I marked on the calendar when they were due to come in, and because they were regularly exercised, they didn't have that where, you know, because that can bring them into heat when you exercise. If they ain't been doing shit, you start exercising them, they'll come into heat a lot of times, you know. But I didn't have that problem because they were always being exercised anyways. So I timed their, you know, if I was going to show them or whatever, I timed it either way before they're due to come into heat or after their heat cycle is done, you know. But when mine came into heat, I put them up. I didn't even keep them around all the other dogs because usually I was conditioning a dog and I don't want them to smell it. You know, so we put them either. Generally, what I did is I put them on someone else's yard. If I wasn't going to breed them, if I was going to breed them, I bring them inside the house in a separate room. And then they'd piss and shit where no other dogs were. Take them across the street in the field and all that, so the dog wouldn't smell it. But yeah, I didn't have that problem with mine.
Ray, what's your cook up on the heat cycle? If you wait a certain amount of time after, or what time?
Well, shit, I'm just like schoolboy. I'm timing my shit around, so I would never have that problem. And I would always work my bitches too, even if they wasn't, on the campaign trail, just cause that same reason. You don't want to just start working them and they just pop out in the heat and shit. Now they blood count all off and shit, and you gotta kick back for a whole week really and shit come around usually when it's crunch time, So yeah, I never really
Yeah,
had that problem. I would take them same steps, and I'm the same way now. Like even if I ain't doing shit with them, but just males get to tripping and shit when they smell the cooch. So I just bring the bitch in the house and shit, man, because males stop eating their food and all that old dumbass shit because they think
yeah,
it's pussy in play. Like this bitch ain't finna
yep.
fuck and you ain't
And
either, nigga.
yeah,
Bucket of damn
that
chat and
smell,
shit.
that smell doesn't go away either.
Fuck
That
yeah,
shows
they
Mm.
either a
smell
month
it on
later.
you just from walking the
You
bitch.
walking,
Yeah,
exactly.
the
You
motherfucker
walking
get to
around the
looking at your
yard, or
leg
you
funny. Like,
fucking yeah, and then people wonder why their dog's dick come out and shit.
that
They
motherfucker.
smelling your they smelling your bitch from 2 months ago when she was in heat.
Yup. They like, oh shit,
Mm.
it's pussy. It's time to get bread.
Yeah,
It ain't
yeah,
that pussy been out of season, fool.
exactly. And
Wow, that's
and when I
crazy.
say we bleach, when I say we bleach the yard, I bleach everything: the cement around the house, a whole fucking yard, man. Didn't matter because there could be some smell from some bitch's heat cycle or something around. You know.
Mm. Anybody really cook up on that little aspect of it right there? We got Hurricane. My dog overworks even on the chain constantly, working hard to keep weight. He's struggling to keep weight on his dog. Hurricane, I done came to the conclusion with them. I got a lot of them hard working dogs on the chain. They just look like they in keep 24/7. You may have to kennel them down.
Yeah.
It may help. It may help with the amount of calories they burn in being in the kennel. And also you want to make sure your dog is really cleaned out, man. Make sure you hit them with the wormer. You got them cleaned out because that's another parasites can mess with those dogs holding weight. But if you know your dog is cleaned out all the way, you may have to switch up that living condition, bro. Unless you're gonna feed him like it's a 55-pound dog.
Get him an
Some of it
automatic
Yeah, I
just
mean,
burn.
feeder.
yeah,
Problem
you
solved.
might add some fat to it, but some dogs are just like that. The Boleo dogs were notorious for that.
Give
They
him an
work
automatic
themselves all
feeder.
day.
Problem solved.
Go ahead,
So
Buck.
Automatic
so
feeder.
with the
Problem
Boleo
solved.
dog, there you go. So with the Boleo dog, I didn't even hardly work them that much. They worked themselves. My thing was just monitoring their weight the last week, make sure they come down. They did all the work themselves. You could basically take them off the chain, man, because they ride that weight or real close to it.
Yeah,
And
that's why I like that ball
now it's
bolio stuff.
yeah, yeah,
There's a method to that madness when people play with these strands, man. It's a
exactly.
method to the mad. It's a method to the madness.
Yeah, yeah,
I like the ones that work themselves, but like you say, if you gotta, that's why I said you gotta have the kennels because some of them they're extreme. You know what I mean? They'll be out there, you're feeding them good, and they're clean, but they're working at such a high rate and burning so many calories, man. They'll be out there looking crazy. And what I seen is the kennel. Slam them in that kennel and push them that food, and it's but so much running they can do in there, and that's how you get them to hold some weight. But some of them they're just cut like that from that kind of cloth.
yep.
We Glock. Can we get a real definition of bulldogs? Please, words is being thrown around. We got the word police out here. Qui Glock. He wants to know. We got old heads. We got the new heads. People get offended when people say bulldog.
Well, the term comes from the English dogs that came over. You know, the same term was used for the fighting dogs in England, the bear baiting, and uh, you know, bull baiting, and all that. It's just a term that was used for those particular dogs. That's a bulldog. And in more modern times, a bulldog was, a game dog. Put it like that. That's a bulldog. You know. So if you're using it in that way, it's what you would consider a good dog, good game dog, ability, all that stuff. He's a bulldog. He's a fighter. If you're using it in the past, then they're the English dogs that came to the United States from England, and the Irish dog that came from Ireland are terriers, right? That's about the simplest way to explain it. Now, a lot of I don't even like that term bull breed. People use it. Okay, we got to accept it. I don't like what's a bull breed, because when you do that, now it's all encompassing. Now, any pit bull, any bully, any American bulldog, any Rottweiler, any whatever, they're all bull breeds. I don't see it that way, but it's a term that's used, so I guess we got to accept
Mm, mm. We got Carolina Blue. How do you break up a pup out of being skittish and scary? This question gets asked so much.
it. Yeah, yeah. Well, the way I did it is I gave them to the kids. Let the kids do it. Kids don't know any better. They just treat the dog like it's a dog. It's part of their, that's their pal, their buddy, their companion, and they'll bring them out of it. And if you don't have kids, and the pup is shy, you just got to socialize it. Hopefully, by you taking it out, taking it in public, carrying it with you, driving around, take it here and there, the pup becomes familiar with being comfortable in whatever atmosphere it's in. Some dogs are born that way. Very few are born introverted and timid. They're usually made that way by how they're maintained and how they're kept. They don't do nothing. They stay on that yard. They don't see nobody but you or your family. You don't take them off the chain. You don't take them out of the kennel. They're not used to loud noises, music, different surfaces. Some dogs don't like to walk on tile or even grass. I've seen dogs scared of grass and shit. You just got to familiarize them with all kinds of stuff. But when you put them with kids, the kids they just behave normally, whether they're playing or they're holding the pup or whatever. They don't really, they don't even care if the pup gets scared. Oh, he's scared. Come here, I'll hold you, like that. And then the puppy, bonds with the kid and all that. So that's how I did it. Other people have those other methods where just take them out and try and socialize them. And usually they'll come out of it. And a lot of times, you get a dog. It may be 4, 5, 6 months old when you get them, and they're timid and shy like that because they ain't done nothing with, and that would be harder to break them of that. And especially adult dogs that I got from other people that were timid. I never could break one of it. They stayed that way no matter what I did. Give them to the kids, take them here and there. Scared of their own shadow, man. And that's just because of the way they were kept.
Yeah, it gets a hash because the breeder gets attached to that as well for the skittish puppies. But you gotta give them time. Like I said, making harsh assessments on little puppies and stuff. But give them time, and schoolboys say kids are great too. They are great.
But if you don't got access to no kids, you ain't got none of no little nieces or nephews. This is what I did with the skittish dog I had recently. Got just one day we go to PetSmart, next day we go to Petco, and just
Like
taking
that.
around the different ones, because they don't be too far away from each other. You just did that every day for about 2 weeks. She snapped right out of it because you getting a car ride and you fucking getting different smells. There'd be other animals in there, different little reptile like shit you don't see, every day as a regular dog would see. So many different smells and all that shit. And then, at the end of fucking every week, just grab a small fry, praise them up and give it to them, come right out that shit, man. They be looking forward for them car rides. Then like, let's go. It's Fridays at the end of this deal.
Hey, you gotta put some work in, man. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they all don't come out the package like that.
man. Most of this shit boils down to it's up to the fucking controller. You the user, motherfucker. It's up to you to do it. You got the
Mm.
wherewithal in the fucking testicular fortitude to get up and go do it. Cause the
Yeah. Let them
dog's
play with
gonna
some
be
stuffed
whatever.
toys, you know, or yeah,
Yeah.
give them a bone, or let them play with some stuffed toys, or play the music louder, you know, and
Or take
let them
them
watch
to a
TV
dog
with you
park.
or
If
so.
they young like
Yeah.
that, take them to a dog
Yeah.
park. Shit, they still just want
Yeah.
to play. They ain't trying to bite nothing yet.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
still a
Like
no,
that.
don't take no grown ass fucking Eli Carver with a red boy inbred bottom to the dog park. Try to socialize that nigga. He ain't social.
Hey,
But
yo,
if it's a
man,
puppy,
pups is
like,
different.
yeah, a puppy, let him be a puppy. You can take a puppy to the dog park.
Man, we got Don Jordan. Is there anything you can do legally if your dogs get took by authorities? You get them back and they're neutered when you get them back. Do you have a case or lawsuit? It depends on what type of authorities. Cause see, I had this happen to me 15 years ago, man. I had 15, 16 years ago. I had a dog get loose out my yard, and the animal control got him. And I knew they had got him. I was like, damn, because I know they was gonna call quick. You see a fucking pit bull running down the street. So I went over there to get my dog, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm the owner. I got the dog. It's my dog. Blah blah blah. He was gone for less than 2 hours. That's how quick he got picked the fuck up. But they had already did the temperament testing on him, and it was like he's a little iffy. And I was like, look, it was my fault. I didn't have him properly contained. He got out. They was like, they said it was 200. This is back then. It was $275 to get the dog back intact, or
Hmm.
$60, and they were going to neuter my dog. And I ended up having to pay the 260 to get the dog back intact. So I thought that was crazy because I was
That's
like, what
an
does it?
extortion racket if I ever heard one. Who caught him? The mafia, nigga. The mob
This is
caught
this,
your dog, bro. That's some straight mafia tactics, my nigga.
yeah, bro. I was sitting there because they take you back there and you walk past all the cages and shit, and then you see your dog in there and shit looking sad and shit. Like, man, I done got captured. I was like, yo, what the fuck? But it blew my mind, and it was completely legal. I didn't know that's how that shit going, because a lot of people get dogs confiscated, but you actually, your dog gets loose and they pick him up and you like going to get him back the same day. You wouldn't think it would be some shit like that, but
That's
that's
wild
exactly.
shit. Like you motherfuckers, dude. You was in John Gotti County.
Yeah, man, shit, it's real. So I guess it's depend. I don't know if you got a legal case on it if they neutered them, but or if
Have they
they.
given you any warnings before? Like, oh, that shit gotta come into play. I know they just can't. That's pretty much the equivalent of if they take your dogs for whatever infraction and just put them right down before you even went to court to see if you was suitable to get them back. That's kind of in that same realm. Kind of like how they did with Floyd Boudreaux. They took all his dog, put him down for you, and went to court.
Yeah, and that was
Yep.
crazy. That was
But
crazy.
that's how that's how he was able to beat them. Though, like how you just gonna take my shit and fucking did nobody for one tell y'all to come take them. So whatever it costs, the bill is on you, motherfucker, because they was perfectly fine where you found them at, motherfucker. Since
Yep.
you want to take
That's
on the responsibility, how dare you try to say it costs this much to feed this dog every day, but it only costs fucking 6 cents a day to feed kids in Africa? Get the fuck out of here. Put them dogs on that same program that Sally Fields got them Africans on then.
Yeah, that's a fucking crazy analogy too, bro. It's 6 cents to get me to get in Africa.
That's what I'm
God
saying.
damn.
They want to charge you $275 for holding them for a couple hours. You had them for a day, it'd be like $600. We had to feed them and water. We're like, what did y'all niggas feeding them? You know?
man. That,
I feed
but
the
that's,
good shit, nigga. It don't cost me that much a day.
but yeah, they talking about that in certain states about having them dogs neutered if you can't prove that they're in show or breed or you have like legit paperwork on them and stuff. They're gonna try and start neutering them. That's because that was going on back then. Like I said, I was standing there like in shock. Like, are you serious? And they was like, yeah, we're serious. And they won't release your dog back to you. Like they're going. It's either this or that. It ain't like you got time to think about that shit or none of that shit. Like
Like,
they give
nigga, you
you,
got till 8 o'clock to close the business, bitch. What you gonna do?
yeah. And if you pay the $60, they'll tell you a date when you can come pick the dog up after the surgery. If you ain't got the 260, you jammed. If you ain't got the money, period, they're not releasing your dog back.
That's a cold racket right there, boy.
Yeah, they're not releasing your dog back. Gosh, I still did this shit. I ain't tell you what I think. I tell you what I know. I was
So
standing right
basically,
there.
you kidnap my dog and hold him for ransom.
Yep. J. Paul
Yeah.
Getty shit.
That's why it's
Yeah.
good
You
though to
gotta,
have your
you got,
kenneling license and shit in order, bro. And if where you at,
yeah.
you can't get one, move to where you can. Shit. If you really about the dogs like that, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, make the hard choice, man. There's a lot come with these dogs. You see, Thompson had to move out there to the woods with the Rougarou.
Yeah, man.
He
It's,
got to deal with
you
Bigfoot and the Wolf Man.
for me to do what I was trying to do, it's just the reality of the shit. I pray everybody get their ducks in a row and they could go ahead and bust the moves and shit because they making it hard for you to have dogs, especially the way I want to keep my dogs because I breed dogs. So I keep a lot of my dogs. So it's like,
Yep. Think about
you got to,
incorporating your kennel name into a business, bro, and treating it as such. Pay your kennel and license fees and whatever taxes, run it like a real business, man. You get
yeah, because they
kickback
say
and
you got to
tax
sell a
write-offs
minimum.
for dog food and shit. You feel me?
They're saying you got to sell a minimum of 12. I think it's 12 to 15 dogs per year. And I don't really sell, I've never sold 15 dogs a year. I've always been underneath the actual market because they don't monitor you because people like business wise, they monitor you by what you're selling. Those transfers of ownerships, all of that shit gets monitored. But if you sell a certain amount of dogs per year, whatever number they say, and like I said, I believe it was 12 or 15 dogs per year, that's how they operated. I never even reached the point where I sold 15 dogs in a
Yeah,
year.
but that's smooth if you're a breeder. But if you just want to just have them, just start showing them and shit. This is what I do for a living. I show my dogs and stud them,
Yeah, so
motherfucker.
they don't cut you. So they don't cut your dog's nuts off.
Yep.
Because I guess,
Exactly.
Because if
Yeah.
you
I
can
guess,
prove you showing your dog, like your dog's all fucking registries that's worth a fuck require your dogs, males to have big hanging nuts and females to be intact. You better not bring
yeah,
no neutered or spayed shit up there. I ain't even gonna look at that fat motherfucker if I'm
yeah.
judging.
Yeah, you
Look at
can't
JS.
enter a spayed or neutered dog into a dog show anyway. You can't. It's
So
against
yeah,
the
do
rules.
that on a professional level. And all you gotta do really go to shows that's usually fucking a whole weekend. You can make champion a weekend at a dog show, man. You can win the
Yep.
first two and then win one tomorrow. If you would have legit fucking whoever showing it, ADBA, fucking whatever else fucking Click got one coming up with his shit. I forget what it is. But
Yeah.
the Howard Heinzel annual.
Howard
Yeah.
Hounslow Memorial.
Yep. That's where I met you at years and years ago for the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time. I was like,
Sure
who is
is.
this nerd motherfucker, man? Why everybody on this dick? I lightweight hating
For,
this. But Kettle Park, like, oh no, that's schoolboy, man, with the big. I was like, oh shit, that motherfucker look just like a real fucking schoolboy. What the fuck?
fucking four-eyed motherfucker, huh?
Hell yeah, with the button-up shirt and shit all buttoned all the way up,
Yeah.
like motherfucker.
Yeah. I think I wore a suit that day. I had a suit and
Yeah.
tie on and shit.
Hell yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Who the hell is this? Yeah, it's real life schoolboy. First, I thought they said school teacher. I was like, with the Shep dog? They're like, no, Big Red. I was like, oh shit, the Jeep shit. This motherfucker, I would have never guessed he was a dog, man.
It worked.
Man, I ain't
I
gonna
done
say
thought
a
a
lot,
vet,
man.
like a retired vet or something.
Yeah,
Now you give lectures and shit.
yeah, like that.
Hey,
Nah, you
I
right.
ain't even I ain't even gonna say a lot, man. This was an epic cookout. I got one last question before we head up out of here. Jay Asbury. You dedicate this show to the fans. We tried to get as many comments answered in a three, almost a 4 hour show humanly possible. We did this one for the community and shit. Anybody who had questions, we tried to catch everybody's questions tonight. Jay Asbury, what if you got a dog from great stock? However, the guy you got him from tried him way too hard, way too fast. His littermate brother is an all-star. His dad is an all-star. Is it fair to call him a cur?
Did he quit?
Uh, well, my personal opinion, it don't matter who he's related to. If he fucking quit, he's a cur. So
Yeah, yeah.
nobody.
If he quit, breed to his daddy or his all-star brother, man. Don't be the cur master, bro. A quit is a quit, no matter what, homie. It's rare that some dogs do, turn the page and prove to be a bulldog, but most of the time they just live on Cur Street for the rest of their life, bro. That's just the sad reality of it. Because I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he pushed his brother at the same pace, and his brother didn't quit.
yeah. It's one of those things where it could be an all-star bred, but he may not be an all-star. But as an individual, he is what he is, even though he came from great stock.
But that's
So
the beauty of it. You could go to where the ones who made it and get pups off of them. Breed your best bitch to them. Shit, if his daddy's still around, just breed your best bitch to him. And you get all-star shit. You don't gotta settle for the cur though, regardless of why he became a cur. Now I can see if he like fucking trying to game test a 6-month-old puppy, then yeah, that don't count. He's a fucking idiot at that point, But if he was old enough to start and he packed it up, it just is what it is, bro.
yeah,
What's your
ain't no
what's
Yep.
your
exclusions
take
to
on
the
that,
game.
schoolboy?
Well, I can't say it no better. I agree. Pretty much that. The thing is you always hear people say, well, this dog quit or this dog cold or whatever. They produce great dogs. That's true. They also produce curs. And if we all talk like, we follow traits, well, that quitting dog, that's part of his traits. Why would you follow that? You know, and why would you include it in your program when you don't have to? The only reason, especially nowadays, people would do that is because of how the dog's bred, the pedigree. And I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times. That pedigree means nothing if the dog is not worthy. The dog makes the pedigree don't make the dog. So the pedigree is not important until the dog pans out. Once he does, that pedigree is important. If he don't, you just tear it up and throw it away. The pedigree don't mean shit in that respect. So I'm
Well, we
totally
got
against doing that.
well, we gotta. This is the thing. People are making excuses. Because see, this
Yeah,
is how it
you know.
started. I've been seeing this a lot, and people do fuck up dogs. I mean, let's just be honest about it. There's some people that fuck up dogs. They ruin dogs.
Shit, I
But at the
have
same time,
before. Shit,
but
ain't
at the same
nobody.
time, everybody ain't fucking up dogs. You just gotta take the L. It ain't always an
Yeah,
excuse for why the dog didn't do what it was supposed to do. Just like
But
if you
right.
taking credit for
even
the
if a
good dogs,
motherfucker did fuck it up, bro, that's if you total your car, you ain't finna try to fucking untotal it. You just gonna buy a new one. Insurance ain't gonna cover it. It's fucked up, but the same with the dog. So even if he did fuck up, it's still fucked up. You're not gonna
Yep.
be able to fix the frame right, man, and get this shit properly insured to drive safely on the road. Same as
Like
with the
that.
dog, bro.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
sucks.
This,
It is the way it is. Or he might have just been the curve. Shit. How many half brothers of Jeep was curves we never heard about? Honey Bunch produced her fair share of curves, and so did Bo.
all of them do. All of them do.
Dog, you had
So,
dogs right off of Jeep, you cold OG.
that's right. Yep. And
Motherfuckers
grandsons of Red
suck
Boy.
they daddy dick
And,
right
and
now for them dogs,
that's
curves or
right.
not.
Yep.
And you
That's right.
cold them.
And
You
that,
gotta
that that's
no.
the example that should be used. If we're,
Yep.
somebody will tell me, well, I got Jeep in here 34 times, in the pedigree. And I tell them, so what? We had dogs right off a Jeep that we culled. What does that tell you? That, no matter how the dog is bred, who he's off of, could be grand champion, whatever. If he's not worthy, don't include him in your breeding program. Don't. If you would do that, if people would try that more, they would see better results. They'd be more proud of their dogs. They'd have better dogs, and they would have less culls. And that's the whole point. That was my whole point for culling hard and being selective early on and all the way through. I went from having more curs than game dogs to having more game dogs than cur dogs. You're always going to have dogs that quit off of any dog you can think of. It's never 100%, but you can improve your percentages. You can have consistency. Just try it and see.
You couldn't say that any better to end this show. Don't be the cur master. Don't be the excuse maker.
Exactly.
Don't be the excuse maker, man. I appreciate you swinging
you
through.
did a good job.
Hey, man, appreciate it, brother, man. I appreciate you swinging through, spending time with us. Ram, I ain't have you up here in a long time. I got to cook with you for some hours. I don't know where Buck went. Buck got shit going on. He smoked some bad weed. But
yeah,
I want to say yet again, I want to say appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody who came through. I kind of dedicated this show to y'all. This one's going to be epic. I said, everybody sends questions. I said, hey, man, just drop them in the chat. We're going to try and get some old school brothers in here to answer them for y'all. All the conditioning keep questions that I got emails about is a huge thing. Guys doing the shows and stuff, they trying to get their dog in shape. They working them hard. They want to try the most traditional way of working them. I hope I'm giving y'all all the information y'all brothers can take as far as conditioning and keeps go. I did my part. But other than that, man, y'all got a little closing out. Y'all check Schoolboy out on his channel. Schoolboy, let him know your info and stuff, man.
Hit me up. I got T-shirts, books, keeps, Sporting Dog Journal reprints. I got breaking sticks. You can hit me up on Facebook Messenger or my email, richardjschoolboy60@gmail.com, or on Instagram. Just hit me up. Everything's done through me. I don't have no websites. I'm tech stupid, so I don't know how to do none of that stuff. I just do everything in-house. I got a registry, ICDR. If you have purebred pit bulls and you want them registered, hit me up. And thanks for having me on, Thompson. And, anytime you want me on here, if I'm available, I'll come on, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Ram, where can they find you? And don't forget the Patreon info and everything for.
Yeah, man. Shit, hit me up on IG, Game Dog Talk, all one word, man. But don't just be one of them weirdos who just made up a motherfucking profile to see what we doing over there. Like, if you ain't, a dog man with just any type of dogs, you just serious with the dogs you got. I don't give a fuck what kind it is. I'm gonna accept you. If I like what you're doing, I'm gonna follow you back. But if not, man, that shit just gonna be sitting there, bro. Shit, every Thursday, Patreon, man, is the fucking shit. I'm telling you. If you like this shit right here, what we just did, come to Patreon, man. Suge Knight voice.
Yeah. Uncut. What do they call it? Uncut or raw or something?
They get raw and uncut. Raw and uncut.
Yeah, but
it's only $10 a month too, man. So we ain't trying to break your pockets. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's like
yes,
this.
Sir.
Plus, we get deep in that shit, man. And that's me, the OG right here, Mr. Richard Garcia, Boone Rosterman, and 7-8, the host with the most. Like, it go up over there, man. No cap. Come fuck with it.
And Bakari too.
Yeah, that's what I said. OG Bach and Boone.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can watch all the old ones we did. This is our second year now, so we've been cooking, man.
And Ram too. Ram's on there too.
Yeah, hell yeah. I forgot the time change yesterday, so I missed that one. I'm always gonna miss one show a year because we don't do daylight savings out here. I'll be lost as a motherfucker.
Right.
Hell yeah. We don't fuck with that shit at all. But yeah, that's where I be at, man. Patreon or on IG. Fuck with us, bro. Good looking out to him having us up here tonight, Thompson. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to push these lives out, man. I'm trying to get it, man. AQ Henry Kennels, man. OG Fred doing all right, man. He got fancy on me. He in the Gazette and shit now. So, he acting funny with me. But I'm just bullshit, man. I talked to him earlier today, man. He got a lot going on, but, man, he's out there prospering out here. Doing real good, man. But, man, y'all brothers have a good one. Peace.
Peace.